Good morning and welcome to EPIC44 Day 2. Counter-Strike is here, the playoffs are here, and so are we. Waxen, joined by Sheep, bringing you the first best of 3 of the day.
Yeah, it's the second day of second day of playoffs. In theory, it is second day of Epic LAN here on the Counter-Strike tournament as we are heading into 4 best of 3s for today, which we've had it. I think it's at least the events I have done. We've had it once where a team went all the way through the lower bracket, so they'd play 4 best of 3s in a row on the Saturday, and they
Did they win?
No. They did not make it through to the Sunday, which was a pretty devastating result. They were shells of themselves at the end there at around 1 at night.
Well, it's good you're bringing up the fact that this is the lower bracket, because that's what we're gonna have to start off the day with two teams that have had very interesting journeys, especially with the playoffs first game being played last night. And the two teams that we're talking about are, of course, Viperio Academy and
Glitchtech, one of the new organizations entering the fray. I've done an event together with Glitchtech recently, was with their community caster as well for the CAD Events tournament. Glitchtech there, not a magical result. We did see them stomp in the first round, which was quite nice. But overall, just around where they're at right now in terms of where they're looking to finish. I was talking to the Glitchtech boys a lot outside yesterday. They were pretty disappointed in themselves that they got themselves not in the top 8 already.
yes, but on the upside, they didn't make it to the upper bracket from the group stage, but with a victory last night, they are riding the positive momentum, whereas their opponents of Viperio Academy, well, they did make it to the upper bracket and dropped down after suffering a 2-0 defeat. And tell me a bit about that game, Sheep, because it wasn't really close, was it?
Well, it was for one map, which you kind of usually see, right? It happens somewhat often. We see it in some grand finals as well, where one team really is better, one map's close, the other map's a bit of a stomp. And that was exactly the case. It was 16-13 on the first, and 13-7 for Antarctica. Igorek's team, who have gladly proven me wrong at where they are going to finish, they destroyed them in the end there.
And I like that you brought up the 16-13 aspect of the overtime, because now that we're in the playoffs, there will be an overtime change, right? Yesterday, we were actually potentially able to get draws 15-15 after a round of overtime. But today, we're going back to the normal. Playoffs will be ensuing as normal. So we could even have some of these longer games, as we've mostly seen in the last couple of months. Counter-Strike 2 is one of these, in a meta, you could even say, where teams are playing for OT to 24, 27 rounds.
Yeah, and with what you mentioned with the draws, there have been, I had a look, it's I think around 5 teams that did not have a draw somewhere in the group stage.
Out of 41.
Yeah.
So 36 teams, or 37 teams rather,
had a draw at some point in the group stage, yeah.
That is an incredible
One of them is Alaska, who I think in total lost about 8 rounds throughout the entire group stage. So they haven't lost a single map in 7 maps, which is pretty ridiculous.
Did they lose a map with the rounds they lost in the first playoffs game, or?
I'm pretty sure they didn't. I'm pretty sure that was just as big of a scoreline. They were looking very tired, but they were able to rest up.
Did you get some rest?
Absolutely not. It's Epic LAN. It's Epic LAN. You're not getting rest when you're at an Epic LAN.
Of course. Well, hopefully the two teams have gotten rest for today, because you were telling me you actually spoke not just with Glitchtech, but with also Viperio Academy. Yes. And despite their 2-0 defeat last night, they were exuding confidence.
Yeah, I was telling him, right, hey, by the way, you're going to be on stream. And he mentioned, like, all right, cool, we're going to win. And I was like, I didn't have time to ask. I was like, okay, well, show up then. I'm curious, as these teams have met each other once in an official capacity before today, and that was recently, of course, in the UKIC tournament that that has started already that season. 13-3 on Nuke for Glitchtech. So that
It means we might not see Nuke here, right? There means that there's very high chances of Nuke getting banned out by Viperio Academy.
Yeah, we could see that coming in. I would not be surprised. On the other end, it is an online UKIC game, and from what we've been hearing from a lot of the teams is that some UKIC teams or matches just don't really get prioritized much.
Of course.
For those teams, and for example, Alaska lost a reason for one of the matches, so that already gives a bit, like, it puts a bit of an asterisk next to that Nuke map, in my opinion.
And of course, it's a Nuke in a best of one. It can often go that way. So
Yes.
maybe let's not read too much into it. In a best of three, it's completely different dynamic. And the confidence for a team like Viperio is something that we want to see. We actually had them on broadcast yesterday for one of their group stage games where they also lost to Belfast Storm. But since that loss, then they bounced back. So maybe they're going to start bouncing back again. Maybe we can put their defeat last night on the back of fatigue after playing, 9 maps in a row.
Yeah. Well, that is absolutely one of the things that you're going to have to deal with here. And both of these teams are looking to completely empty their energy tank heading into this day.
Shall we talk predictions before we see the veto?
We've always been good with predictions. I mean, on ESL, we've been good. On my tier list, I haven't been for these Epic Land predictions. But I am going to say Glitchtech because I have them in my top 4 because simply the individual power that is there. iFan, I think it was 2 Epic Lands ago, did have a very disappointing result previously. Really disappointed himself with where he placed. I think it was barely top 12 at that point, where they were really shooting for a top 4 finish. Now, somewhat the same case. This could be a very disappointing day for Glitchtech. Expectations are pretty high within the camp.
I mean, if you lose here, you're out.
Yes.
And
then you've woken up at 9 a.m., probably 8 a.m., just to play 1 best of 3, and then you crash out. So
you can catch an early train, but the trains, I'm not sure they're working.
Catch an early bus.
Yeah, replacement. Well, I am going to go with Viperio Academy. And the reason is, it's okay. One of us needs to take the L. And I like...
I've had a couple already.
I like myself the underdogs. And they have a Romanian player.
Shout out.
Fellow countryman. I got to support them. So I actually do think this will be a very competitive series. And bias aside, I think they might have what it takes to do it.
Yeah. And if we're going to go a bit more in-depth about that, I was talking to you guys before as well, where some of the risks that we have seen with Viperio Academy is, which happens with a lot of academy teams actually, because they have such a system above them, they kind of, like, they play very professionally, but almost a bit too much, right? There isn't as much reliance on individual decisions, spontaneous mid-round calling. You see them sometimes get stuck in the middle of these sort of rounds where, you know, it's a 3v3. All of a sudden, you need to change the pace, slow it down, speed up. And we've seen Viperio Academy really, really struggle at some points. On the other side, you're going to have multiple-time epic winners. You're going to have players that are individually probably going to be better on iPhone, MMS, and Reese. And then you're kind of like, well, is that going to be okay? Is that going to be okay for Viperio Academy? Well, will they be able to get that confidence in themselves to just do something stupid in one of these rounds just to put the hurt on Glitchtech? That is what we're going to be looking for.
All I'm saying, former winners, but they didn't make it to the upper bracket playoffs from the group stage.
And that is true. That is true. They had a in there where it's a very disappointing result against Dusty, who kind of surprised them. I don't think it was that much their fault. I think
Dusty is riding the wave of this tournament, right? Like, so it's enough to take anything away from Dusty themselves. As I'm not entirely sure, how did they fare last night? Did they drop down to the lower bracket?
Yes.
I think they might have lost.
Yes,
on
they
stream.
are playing Roskembald.
Rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, it's a terrible name. I like it, but it's terrible to pronounce. I like reading the name. That's where it stops. But yeah, that is Edinho's first time ever making it to a Saturday. So shout out Alex.
Absolutely amazing. As we now have the veto on our screen ready for us. Ban out the Dusty and Nuke and first map pick.
Yeah, Nuke gone. So that's as predicted. Seeing an Ancient, complete non-surprise.
Of course.
I think there is a high likelihood every single best of 3 on stream is going to get an Ancient map in. It's become the new UK Vertigo.
Makes sense to
from
me.
what it was years ago.
But Ancient is actually a good map.
I like it. I do.
Mirage, second map, and the deciding of Train. Sheep, what a better way to kick off the day. Please take us to a game 3. At this point, I don't even care who wins. As, ladies and gentlemen, the first best of 3 will be underway. Pistol round already ensuing on Ancient.
The birds are chirping, the calm before the storm on Ancient, as the Leafs provide coverage for this B-side pop straight in. It's management with the first, but the T-side entering on 2. That's a devastating entry.
And they've got the side completely. I believe there's someone on the lurk as well. We're going to get the bomb down in a second. This retake will have to be very, very hard. And as you already called it, Sheep, individuals, I believe it was MMS with a couple of kills opening up the bomb site.
Yeah, 2v4, pretty much never going to happen here. Lake and Shane fighting an uphill battle.
Well, they're going to get the first one. Time is running low. They don't have a kit. They're getting shot in the back. And it's going to be Ivan getting a couple from the back. And first round on the board for Glitchtech. But, you know, this is their map pick. So I wouldn't necessarily hate it. They need to win the rounds. And based on what I was talking to Shin yesterday, he does favor the T side of Ancient a bit more than the CT side. What are your thoughts on that, Sheep?
As in favor, as in like, or favor as in consider it to be the overall better side?
He says it should be more or less a 7-5 round for the T's.
At certain levels, yes, because I do think there is a bit of trouble to be had with some CT sides. That went quite quick.
We got Zeus though.
Zeus.
Shane is
Shane, please give us some fun.
Yeah, he will not. But our job is to hype it up. They're actually completely avoiding him. There is Ivan in the vicinity, maybe getting killed. No, never mind. He's going donut. Shane will have to.
He just books it.
Anyhow, yes. Tell me about Ancient.
Yes. One of the things that I like, mid control isn't as much of the meta as it has been before, right? You can win CT rounds without taking middle now, which around global offensive Ancient was pretty much impossible to do. But it is pretty dang awkward on the CT side if you don't have it perfectly set up. Because if you want a regular, decent mid take, it's going to take 2 Molotovs, a smoke, around 3 very well-timed flashbangs, and a run boost.
Wow.
So that's a lot to go right. And I don't know if these teams consistently have it in them or consistently will put the util towards it to make that happen. But we're going to have to wait and see. Well, if we're even going to see the run boost once, actually.
We'll have seen already a lot of utility being thrown in mid, but they've abandoned it pre-minute at 1:30. And NCX playing donut. There's a smoke allowing the T's to cross. And MGMT with the AWP in the 3rd round catches MMS by surprise.
Yeah, Glitchtech not really knowing where to go. This is a nice push from Viperio Academy, actually.
Blake.
It's a great one.
Could double up and help with the teammate. Oh, Shane, what an angle. Very hard to clear with 70 seconds left. MGMT has rotated. Gonna try to get that jumping shot onto Isaac, but now Ivan finds 1 versus 4, and he will get collected by Shane, taking 4 rifles onto the next round.
That is a very, very lovely round already to see from out of Viperio. Nice push, double push as well, so challenging both B main and A main. Nice timing on it, and they just completely got through.
Well, it's going to be the first full gun round for Glitchtech, no AWP for them. Do you think we're going to see an op for the T's this half?
I think we will. They don't really have like a main opper on the Glitchtech side. I think Zimzy is the one to pick it up once in a while. But yeah, for what we have been seeing, it's not necessary on the T side. I'm missing minimal. Getting that early trade in. And that kind of settles the round again. If we're going to see rounds like exactly this continue to happen, that's a very exciting prospect.
70 seconds to go, and they already have control of Cave. They're making their way. Lake is playing very far out with the MP9.
Zimzy's gonna catch MGMT.
Look at MGMT. He's got, oh, that almost happened, but Zimzy with the Galil, like predicted, will find two. And now it's going to be a very hard retake. NCX and Shane both on the flank. But Raze is aware. This should be an easy for him. Does fall.
Somehow an opportunity starting here.
Zimzy missing the EWP shot, but MMS will not win the AK-47, lining up both of them. The AWP gets dropped by an HE, but it will get saved by MMS, and yeah, we're going to get an op on the T side.
Well, there you go. It's actually going to be Isaac picking it up. That was something that I kind of should have known. But, well, we see it. A mid-round, Lake completely caught unawares of what was happening out of that cave.
It was a very strange angle and position, actually, to play with an MP9. Even if he had a teammate holding cave, he was playing so far back with the MP9 versus AKs. It didn't really make sense to me. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. Maybe he was trying to rotate, but now Shane, the only M4A4, is going to have the opportunity to open up the map, but doesn't. And now Zimzy will get the opener across onto Lake.
It's a big missed chance. The only rifle of the round would have been able to at least make a bit of a mark, but barely a scratch onto Marco. Looking at Glitchtech, really looking to put doubt into Viperio's minds by playing these very, very, well, sort of pausey rounds, right? Just stopping once in a while just to have a look. But that's high-level CS. That's what you like to see. This never gonna get there.
Going through the easy ones. MGMT will find one and another headshot, but MMS will prevail, holding the... Is that a Huntsman knife? No, it's the Falcon, right?
Yeah, it's Falcon or Falchion.
Oh.
I think it's a ch.
Falchion, I like that.
Yeah. It's a pretty sexy name, actually.
It's
better than the Kurki or something, like the new knife. The Kuriki knife?
Kurokami? I don't know.
The origami knife. You just like fold the paper open.
Yo, I'll buy that. I'll buy that. I'm just saying.
It's a budget knife if I've ever seen one.
Well, we might get a 1 versus 1 AWP action here as both teams have 4 rifles and an op minimal. Again, smoked off. MMS infiltrates Red Room already. Very early in the round.
Yeah, and that's going to be exactly what Glitchtech want. Cave presence is there, though. Viperio, they don't have the util again to go for these aggressive plays, so it kind of gets stuck halfway once more.
Lake could actually make it happen here if he finds MMS behind the door. He actually steps. MMS is aware someone's even spots the shadow. MMS gonna go for it. Lake still holding the angle, and he's gonna lose. What a peek from the tees. Player advantage, and now Isaac with the op gonna get Shane walking into his crosshair, and now the takeover of the bomb site will pretty much be guaranteed unless NCX can find it. He found a headshot.
Jesus, Reese.
He ate the headshot.
Reese's Pieces. Jeez. That's too many rhyming words in a row. It's going to be a 5 versus 2. This is going to be a save. Viperio Academy, I wouldn't be against calling a timeout right now, to be fair.
It depends how their economy will look like, and if they manage to save both rifles. If they lose one of them, maybe eco and then call one. MGMT finds another kill. I mean, Glitchtech could hunt them down, and they get the AWP out. Yeah, and this is where Viperio, plays half-buy or an eco and then timeout, maybe. But 5-1 down already, it's not a great start.
No, it really isn't. Minimal needs to hold on here. That won't happen.
Redcon. This is not the team with the Romanian player. I'm going all Glitchtech. Maybe it's their coach.
I was very happy that we were seeing multiple organizations getting back, getting like solid teams, right? Not just dipping their foot in and getting out of the UK scene, right? We have 8 Sins, Belfast Storm, Viperio Academy, all here to stay, all deciding somehow we are going to go for a black and red colorway, which makes it very, very confusing for us. Actually, timeout, by the way.
Good call. When I do see the teams in the playing hall, I'm like, wow, we're just all a big, massive family.
Yeah. It's like, oh, a red and black shirt.
Yeah. Again.
Just like 15 others.
Do you think it's like there's just this one graphic designer that works for the entire industry and just makes bang from all the orgs?
He has one colorway to work with. That's his cheapest colorway.
It's a colorblind graphic designer.
Oh! That Deagle do some work.
Lake finds one. Shane with the second. He's going to retrieve the AK-47. He's given the chance to get the second kill, but Ivan will not hesitate. MGMT already on his tail. Riz. That was good awareness. Check your flank, get the kill. And now two players quite low HP, but minimal. Won't even deal that type of damage. And Glitchtech, as expected, get the 6th on the board. Viperio needs to start getting some rounds in. And they need to do it now.
This is probably the round that they just talked about heading into, heading into that timeout. Probably want to get in, bless you. Probably wanted to get in earlier on as well. So yeah, 6-1. The mid control has not been in their favor, so we're gonna see it now. We're gonna see the jump indeed, and a hefty fight, instant results.
Good cover there from NCX, but Lake and Shane, they need to do something there. MMS already made his way onto the side, but gets found Zimi with a trade. Shane has to stay alive, and what a second headshot from the, AK-47 of Zimi. Are they going to expect a third player in cave? That's the question. Minimal. They are checking him, and Zimi finds a hat trick. Third on the board on round number 8. Gotta go for more, gotta find the 4. They're going for the ace, but Ivan gets the side headshot. It doesn't matter. This was all Zimi's round.
That was some entry frags. Being at the receiving end of that perspective, we've seen him barely on the screen before those headshots started raining through. Pop, 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 pop. And that is actually a pretty ridiculous entry. He was on 3 kills before that round. Put himself up to a positive KD now, so he's probably going to be cheering about that one. Viperio Academy running the risk, right? They get a bit of a rough one heading in to that round. They get the mid control, get the opening pick, but so much control lost. An overcommitment maybe. And now you just are struggling again with the SMGs, with the lower weapons.
Ooh, okay, we're gonna try MGMT. Maybe finds a headshot with the Deagle. He has found a few. Never mind, not that one. Why would you send your 2 SMGs to fight mid? Because they had 3 Deagles and 2 SMGs, and they sent the SMGs in mid.
I think because what they had, the way Glitchtech exited middle the last time was with a pretty big wide swing. So if you really run to like that sort of bottom corner, I legit forgot the call out of that corner. I don't play Ancient much. But as soon as you push in deep, there's either what they want to do is stay very close to the left wall, which means you'd have a close fight, or stay very close to the back wall, which if you peek wide, you'd have a close fight as well. But nothing really happened. Timing was a bit off. They didn't go as deep as they were expecting to, and then that SMG suddenly loses a lot of its effectiveness. Those flashbangs certainly don't, though. Full blind is minimal.
How is Ivan escaping that? I don't even know. He will hit him
He's
for
magic.
30 damage. He's not just magic, he's 16-4 within 10 rounds of play, and still alive. He could rack up a few more kills this round. NCX and MGMT trying to hold this bomb site with an opener. Now NCX gets a nice lineup.
Nice.
Shane coming in with the assist, and this might be the first in a round in a long time for Viperio Academy, but MMS on the lurk. He has been playing on this side of the map, so you should be aware where he's coming from.
Yeah, Viperio Academy actually getting solid defensive read here. Management kind of missing the timing. MMS knows where exactly he is at hearing the scope. That is I sense your disappointment in that fight. He couldn't really go anywhere else, to be fair. But that op's going to be lost.
He could have held the angle.
Hey, they saved it. Quick feet.
He could have saved the angle, held the angle. I don't know. And we're gonna ignore what happened there, MGMT. We've all done mistakes in our life. 8-2.
I never had. I play perfect CS.
What about casting? At least they did manage to save
I'm a terrible caster.
Save the off and got 2 rifles over, so the economy is not gonna take that big of a hit from losing that duel to MMS.
I still think Glitchtech, right, they haven't really been tested yet on this T side. They haven't really had to think. You can really see that, because there's nothing, like they just go for what they're feeling. They put an emphasis on having the individual decisions being a bit sharper, having the comms be a bit sharper, as Reese looking to mostly lead this team. He is taking most of the IGLing roles, and a lot of the supportive roles as well. So, kind of an excuse for that 5 and 6 scoreline. No,
he's got more kills than Isaac.
I love you, Reese. But yeah, it's Glitchtech that are very much relying on the individuals, and they can. Up to a certain point in this tournament, they absolutely can. And you see that as soon as this CT defense doesn't become rock solid, Glitchtech don't need pickaxes.
Oh! Shane finds one. Not expected to be there. Gonna try to wallbang the second player, and he's gonna get the double out. Has to be aware as minimal as finding one, and it's gonna be Zimzi. Find one kill. We need to go for the 4K MGMT. Spots him. Has the op. Nice cross. Playing around. Doesn't connect. 30 seconds to play for Zimzi. Has. They don't have that much money. He could go for a save here.
Yeah, keeping the hero AK. I mean, IFA would have enough for that hero AK in the final round. It's going to be last round. Isaac on 6, IFA on 7. Should be all right. Heading into it, maybe a Galil or 2, or even a Mag 10, which still would be pretty effective. Glitchtech falling victim to finally a good mid-round read for Viperio. Shut up.
It took them a while.
Took them a while, but that's good signs. Seeing them actually deciding at around 1 minute 20 to, you know, dry push.
Yeah.
Pretty much slow push. That does take a lot of confidence, and you see all of a sudden you earn a round.
And now they're rushing rapid. This is crazy. Lake has had a very rough CT side. Let's see if he can have some make back. Flashing up for his teammate. Shane tries to spray and pray. He does manage to find one with the help of Lake, and the second goes in his favor. NCX is here with a double, and now Isaac 1 versus 4. Not gonna happen as Viperio Academy manage to string 3 rounds in a row to finish this first half.
Isolate these last 3 rounds, you'd be thinking, all right, this is going to be a 13-0 for Viperio. My God, those last couple of CT rounds, right, maybe a bit too late because it's just 4 for them, but seeing Viperio Academy as a team recover like that does give me joy. That does spark joy. This picture does spark joy.
Pistol coming up your way, and Viperio, did you have the Glocks?
There's no util. What?
The Glocks don't need you. Oh my God, Zimzi, not like this. It's a 2-for-2. MGMT continues to press forward. Now Riz is alone in the corner, gets destroyed by MGMT, who collects the 3rd soul of the round. Lake down to half HP, and Ivan, the top scorer of the map, 1 versus 2, 90 seconds to play for. He does not have armor, 1 defuse kit, and the smoke.
If anyone's there to clutch, it would be him. As soon as it becomes a 1v1, that retake's going to be very, very much possible. I think I'm going to absolutely clutch this, but it's going to take a while before this fight actually happens. What's your favorite spot on Ancient?
As a CT?
Just in general?
I think I like Cave the most.
Right, because that's where Ivan is at right now. He's going to have to leave that.
Maybe he just likes it so much he wants to chill there for longer.
Let's see if this works.
Oh, both doubling up in Donut. This is going to be very hard for Ivan to do it. Needs to clear the corner, needs to isolate 1v1, but it's going to be hard. When he hits the first goal, the second will swing. It's not even needed as Lake finds a great confidence pistol kill because, like I said at the end of the first half, Lake has been the one a bit exploited on that B bomb side during the first half. So getting just a kill here might help him, you know, slowly come alive.
Yeah, you're always, you can be at a mercy of the T side in a lot of these rounds when you don't really got a good CT side going. I mean, it's on all the maps. I think it's more akin to what CS2 sort of plays like, especially with the smokes being broken open. Like, if you're behind the smoke, you usually can rest a bit, but no, you're still getting wrecked now. So yeah, there's always an extra amount of pressure when you're an anchor. So that's why there has been a bit more emphasis on like props to anchors for these recent couple, right? Their value is now
Interesting.
very much appreciated.
Yeah.
That was a round, by the way.
No, I like that. I mean, it was a bonus round. They got like what 3 Mac 10 kills. I liked that we didn't see a force or a half buy investment from the CTs. It's often we do see that, and they get punished and they start losing way too many rounds. But now we're gonna get 4 rifles and a FAMAS. I guess the FAMAS is a rifle.
Yeah. I always kind of cringe when I see second round force buy
Yeah,
on Ancient.
Especially
There's other maps, like if it's on Inferno or Nuke, I'm like, yeah, obviously. But if it's on Ancient, I'm like,
I'm not a biggest fan on Nuke either, actually. But we'll talk about that when we get there, as Zimzi will get punished by the Mac 10. Now 4 targets for MMS, only finds 1 Riz. Not going to be expected. A second player in Cave coming out, gets the first. Isaac with a headshot onto MGMT, and Shane turns around, gets shut down by Ivan. Viperio Academy only managed to find 2. If they got 3 there, I would have liked that round a bit more.
I really thought, after the opening trades, I really thought it was going to be more of a Viperio Academy round. I am quite surprised that kind of fell apart. I did see some later flashbangs coming in from the CT side, and when you're playing against better opponents, or on paper better opponents, what usually is the case is it feels like they can buy 25 flashbangs per round, because all of them are hitting you straight in the face, and it just feels so desperate.
Oh my goodness, Minimal about to line him up, finds 2 kills. I thought that was such a smart play from Glitchtech, but they get punished. There's gun. Ivan doesn't expect Minimal to push the smoke, and he opens up with 3 kills. Isaac, nice A4 headshot to get it back. Zimzi trying to double up. And now the player disadvantage down from 3 to only 1.
Minimal maximizing that play there. Management straight managing there, Isaac. And that's going to be a 2v5 prevented, as Zimzi and Isaac had a bit of a look. But that is some nice awareness. Very, very good awareness. And shows that they have absolutely prepared for Glitchtech.
I loved that play from Glitchtech. It's just unfortunate for them that Minimal was very much in position to counter it properly, and you know, getting 3 kills in that angle was what you wanted to see from them. And now Glitchtech's economy will pretty much be in shambles.
It's said before. I said it before with the exact same play when Viperio did it.
Yep.
It's a confidence play, because you're not going to throw in flashbangs with a bit of bad luck, because they didn't check the boost over the smoke.
No.
Right, with a bit of bad luck, you get mown down before you even get there.
Of course.
And they didn't check it either, so that we might see that come in a bit here for the T side. Wouldn't be opposed to that, but yeah, it's nice to see that Viperio Academy are currently actually at that sort of level where, hey, you can have that calmness on the awareness. They may have pushed a bit too early there, Glitchtech, but we're getting into. It's already a good thing that we're getting into like details of rounds now, and not just like this was dumb as an analyst.
I love that smoke, by the way, lineup from the CT spawn, and this is a force buy from Glitchtech. I thought they might be going for the eco. They have the confidence to go for this, and even if they lose this round and the next eco, it will only be a 9-9, so maybe not the worst MMS. With the smoke spot someone, gonna fall back with the MP9.
I thought that smoke was gonna be pulled out, but he realizes there's a pretty big lack of util.
They're gonna give up the site.
Yeah. Pretty awkward retake setup this, isn't it?
I agree, and now that Molly's gonna start burning them away, and Minimal pushes, gets 2 before he finally falls. We're gonna have MMS attempting to survive, but he will not, as NCX takes control of that portion of the map, and we are not even gonna see a save. Ivan with a FAMAS, Reese with the 5-7 gets taken out. What did you think of the force buy? Yeah, I feel like, you know, we were just talking about confidence. Previous round, full confidence, went for it, pushed mid, boosted each other, pushed through the smokes. This round, they forced and retreat, gave up sight.
Yeah, I've mentioned this more often. I'm always quite critical of teams playing default positions, especially on the CT side. Playing default positions with not a full buy of gear.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, well, those positions, they're called defaults for a reason, right?
Yeah.
It is, when you have a full buy, this is the most stable setup. And that is because there's you to support, yada, 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 yada. You get into these positions, you call it out, or you don't even call it, it's just automatic. You get into these positions like, oh yeah, we're going to do this, but you're so low on weaponry, right? MMS has to decide if he wants to throw a smoke or not because there's no smokes behind him.
Yeah.
So at that point, you're there like,
but at the same time,
what are you doing?
You can't retake without any utility either, so you can't give up the side fully either. And that's why, you know, this undecisiveness punished them.
So why don't do, like, why play default? Go triple cave.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn. Do something other than play default.
Which, by the way, that was their first setup when they first guns. They had 3 in cave with 3 M4s in the first gun round.
Yeah.
So they could have just gone back to that.
So, well, that's my rant gone.
No, I think it's very good. I mean, sometimes it's best for these teams, you know, if they look up at the VODs and maybe practice for tomorrow, if they make it to the Sunday, why not maybe learn from some of their potential mistakes as this is going to be a slaughter fest in Donut.
Oh, straight through.
NCX.
Yeah, that's a nice kill there.
Oh, okay. Maybe don't push the smoke and give away your advantage, no?
No, and somehow Shane is gonna, what is this play? Gets through and gets away. That's
barely.
Somehow Houdini.
Simzy with the deagle. 1 bullet would get the drop down onto Shane. He's gonna see it. He's gonna find the headshot. And now it's MGMT with the AWP. 1 versus 2. He does not have any other utility. He's gonna try to find the shot. He misses, and Simzy puts an end to it as Viperio Academy suffer from the poison of their own bite.
Oh, that's massive nerves there for management on that A ramp. Oh, of course, a bit of a mistake. I understand wanting to take cave control. I understand wanting to deal with those players because it would have decided the round, right? It is a round deciding play where you can still somewhat recover. It ends up, right, flashbang too late, it's details, whatever, we don't care. But management, you do not really need the wide swing there, to be fair. Right, I get that you want to be a bit early on, but he exposed himself to the angle so much, and that's just nerves. To be fair, it's the first clutch situation that we're seeing. We had Ivan in the 1v2 in the pistol round, but that's been pretty much it. So I understand not really being warmed up to that.
I'm gonna go back to the pushing the smoke into cave when they had USPs and you had AKs. I don't know.
Yeah, that wasn't the greatest decision, but that's a beautiful one.
If I'm the coach, honestly, well, Viperio seems to have actually easily bounced back from that. They open up the map, take Ivan out, and Isaac down.
Did you just see that, by the way?
That was a double Mac 10 headshot?
Yeah.
Okay, he's not going to find
Jesus.
And that's one of the reasons I love Counter-Strike too. There are weapons like the Mac 10, like the MP9. You might think they're OP, but I think they're just viable.
Yeah. The weapons balance is actually pretty alright now. MMS has just strutted through a smoke to find Shane. There is a flank, but Lake's being loud about this as he wants to be quick. That trade not happening. Simzy, again a multi-kill. He's been great on getting those multiple frags. Viperio unable to really give him an actual crossfire.
Where's the bomb? Do we have the bomb?
It's somewhere down here. I think MMS dropped it.
This is almost a crossfire. It's going to be impossible for NCX as Reese wins the duel. 11-8, Viperio Academy. I think that should pretty much be timeout or maybe next round as it's not looking too hot for them. They're going to have to save if they want to play for overtime or force. But they don't really have what to force with right now. Even Mac 10 with shields and utility seems out of the realm of possibility for a few of them.
I really thought a couple of rounds ago in this half, the Viperio Academy were going to be able to close that gap. We're going to be able to take the lead even. But
when you lose versus USPs, that's what happens.
Yeah, that can be a pretty decisive round, can it?
Especially this late into the map as Lake tries his luck with the deagle. Ivan gets the headshot. Reese with the second. It's a walk in the park. I'm not too hopeful for Viperio winning this round. Maybe just a couple of kills to boost the stats.
Yeah, just getting picked off on my one. Glitchtech might feel like a bit of an empty deathmatch server at this point, where these fights not presenting them often, but they're them being quite easy. 12-8.
New model. I thought we were watching a USP without silencer. 4 rounds to win their map pick.
I do do that on my print stream though.
Ancient. Sure. I'm not. No.
We're not getting into the suppressor discussion.
Well, I do like
if
it.
MMS unsilences it now, I get £5.
I'll say 50 because he's not doing it.
Right, 12 to 8.
You don't even use pounds. You're a euros man.
Yeah, I'm adapting.
Smart man. Better currency. I see.
Ooh, fight in A main.
Is it?
Yep. Well, not really a fight, is it?
It's a knockout. But across the map, Shane will find MMS. And that's going to open it up for them if they want to go that way. But they don't want to get too curious. Riz, on the other hand, is still...
He's going to straight push after this.
This is a lot of info.
Yeah.
He's got 2 teammates backing him up.
He's not going to stop. Management just going back to check timing. Not in his favor. Hasn't seen Reese cross. That's Ivan. He knows it by name now. I think the information's there. It should be.
He's watching his flank. But Isaac with the AWP might throw a spanner in the works. Gets the nice shoulder kill. And now Molly in hand somehow still survives. Holds the other angle of Donut. Will get out of there safely as Reese continues to approach with GMT.
Switching weapons, getting ready for that flank. He's not there with it. Shane does respond. NCX joining him in. And you said Isaac could throw a spanner in the works. Well, it has to be a heave, as he can win this 1 versus 2. Both players low HP on AWP. Of course, that doesn't matter. Hi! Missed shot. That would have been it.
Oh, we can see our observer wincing on the back of that missed shot. As Isaac still has plenty of utility to go for this one. Switches to the AK-47, NCX and Shane quite low in HP.
That's good info, by the way, because it was the pop in the cave. He heard the flashbang, so you pretty much know from where that's thrown.
Hey, look at the HE. It's
40
perfect.
HP.
He's going to not find anything as NCX dodges the HE, gets the headshot, and keeps his team in the game.
Damn.
I don't know how that HE didn't connect, but...
NCX just complete wide swung through it.
Just like
He heard the nade bounce. He was like, all right.
he phased through the HE.
Guess I'll peek.
I see.
He just ate it. Just went...
Snakes don't die.
Munched on it. That was...
That's not a shot at NCX. It's just Viperio. No AWP this timer. We actually get Minimal with a Mac 10. And I gotta say, I think Minimal has yet to find a couple of kills on the T side. He has had 12 or 13 on the CT side, and since they switched, he has been reduced to just cannon fodder as MMS gets 1. Lake will eat a ton of damage, but will find Ivan in exchange.
Good to see him getting away. Minimal has heard Reese run up here, burning that molly. So that information is at least there, and you see what that does to the rotates of Viperio. It goes all the way around, looking like a beautiful yellow banana there on the minimap. But with that reset, knowing, similar to Dust 2, you can't really lurk about in the position where Reese was at. That's not sustainable, especially not in the 4v4. So, nice awareness by Viperio, just slowing it down, knowing that that in itself will give them more space. But then you are going to get this pretty hefty donut fight. MMS, I've seen him get triples, quad kills from this position.
They're going to cross instead.
I like this.
I like it a lot. The only question is if they're going to choose the correct side. They might even catch Isaac on a slimmer.
No one's covering this.
Okay, now they're walking. They cannot be heard. The donut player is way too far. They have full control of the CT side. 30 seconds to go.
They're going to go over towards B because they know they have that double angle coverage. Reese was aware.
Oh, Zimzi and Isaac find a couple each. And now Minimal 1 versus 3 with the Mac-10. Gets the first one. 18 seconds. Needs to jump on top of Isaac. But he will not. As Viperio Academy falter.
I'm actually, well, you say falter. It's been the map pick of Glitchtech here on Elimination. It's been that first map pick, and we are seeing some good signs from Viperio Academy. Of course, there's some details that have been missing, especially management, who's had a very good game in terms of output, but then also on the other end has had a couple of rough moments with that 1v2 that he didn't give himself a chance in, that we actually have on the screen right here for you guys now. But overall, and then that mid flank that you kind of winced at, it was a pretty, you know, I'd say in terms of team play, it was a really, really good recovery from Viperio. In terms of what Glitchtech were so like hammering themselves on, individual decision making, especially in the mid rounds. When is an individual going to decide, I am now going to do something, follow me? that just isn't as much the case with this Viperio team.
Yeah, and I realized that I said Minimal didn't find as much impact on the T side, but we did correct myself when we saw the replay when he got that nice triple kill to open up the map. The problem, I think, is they shot themselves in the foot, and I will keep going back to that round where they were playing versus USPs.
Yeah, that was a throw and a half.
That was the beginning of their comeback. They were like racking up 3-4 rounds in a row. That could have been like the fifth, I believe. And they smoked off Donut, and then they pushed through it, giving away the gun advantage, giving away the visibility, and allowing for, well, what actually happened in the end to take place, which was sadly the beginning of the end. They got only one round after that. The economy was broken.
mess with. One day at a time, taking this shit one day at a time. You out of your mind, thinking that this is all for. Look, I'm predicting my future by taking control of it now. When societal norms pressure my peers, I continued holding my ground. Laughable goals, envy hidden in advice that they give. That's just how it goes, I'm staying on go. Monopolize a set of skills and chance it whenever I roll. Never rolling over, only one in the backs of the women who get to know me on the surface. Deeper questions won't buy the time that she need with me. That shit is not up for purchase. I told my circle I jackpotted, now I gotta set the example. Luckily my catalog rivals any poppin' artist. Hot with the best that I gamble, 777s every time. How the fuck is it a hit every time? Okay, hold up, this nigga working like he off ketamine high. Disassociated from all the legions. Had to zero in on the process, cause I'm in this shit for the long jab. Making use of the omens that God sends, you know. One day at a time, taking this shit one day at a time. You out of your mind, thinking that this is all for nothing. One day at a time, taking this shit one day at a time. Came from behind, the underdog is far from done with. Everything I said I do, head down and up my leverage. Learn my lesson, tightest circles, cleaned up who I mess with. One day at a time, taking this shit one day at a time. You out of your mind, thinking that this is all for.
I've been at the crib going overtime. I wrote a line and coincide, but anybody trying to go for mine was homeless, trying to cope with cousins, overdosing, thoughts of suicide, provoking guns in and out the home and doing things I ain't proud of posting. Dropped out, did a lot of motion. Dropped out, never stopped the motion. Dropped out, then I dropped the bullshit. I just had a threesome last night. Black chick, white chick, both of them stuck in a pot of stuff. You down to fuck or what? Cause up is down and down is up. Now I'm going down for what? I just turned down 6 figures, no deal. Now I'm going on my own time. I remember all the cold times. I remember all the fuck. I've been doing this a long time and it's go time till it's over. I ain't trying to die when I'm sober. I ain't trying to die when I'm older. I love myself, yeah, I love myself. And I promise if I could, then I would fuck myself. Can't put somebody else above myself. Why trust you when I trust myself? Trying to claim shit that you did for me, dog. Fuck that, everything I done done myself. Fuck.
One day at a time, taking this shit one day at a time. You out of your mind, thinking that this is all for nothing. One day at a time, taking this shit one day at a time. Came from behind, the underdog is far from done with. Everything I said I do, head down and up my leverage. Learn my lesson, tightest circles, cleaned up who I mess with. One day at a time, taking this shit one day at a time. You out of your mind, thinking that this is all for.
As the competition, but if you go against me, you the opposition. But if you want to test to look like you could close the distance, I'ma give it A forever since you're so persistent. With you, I'm just practicing, cause I'm back to back, let's get back to winning. As a matter of fact, I'm not that forgiving, cause you did this to yourself, that's a bad decision. I don't see no one in front of me, you is a ghost, you ain't got a soul. Whoa, always say that they gon' come for me, knowing they won't, they doing the most. Whoa, chasing my, gotta get already, not selling my, you on the, y'all moving, ready to, whoa. When I talk like this, don't blame me. I know I'm bad with it. Go against a goat, that's bad business. All of y'all are jokes so sad with it. To me, you're just a ghost, don't get mad with me. Just, it's a my, gotta get already. Not selling my, you on the, y'all moving, ready to, whoa. I'm the main event, ain't no back and forth, let's get it. Heartless energy, yeah, better get lost, okay with it. Ain't nobody in front of me, ain't nobody in front of me, ain't nobody in front of me, ain't nobody in front of me. You can try to prove me wrong and try to give a
nothing to obey. We're tearing down the old way. Can't they see our souls are one? Path to the sun has begun. Don't ever be afraid. Forever our fates are made. Everywhere there's Saturdays, we have future here to stay. I'm peeling back the skin from the person I've been. But don't wanna be tied down, can you see the light? Throw your face to the stars, far away with no scars. It's written in my cards, this is my reality. This is my reality. This is my reality. I'm peeling back the skin. I'm not the person I've been. We're heavy hitters, we deliver, yeah.
Never stop gaming.
Welcome back to Game 2 of the lower bracket matchup between Viperio Academy and Glitchtech. Viperio Academy lost their opponent's map pick, and now we're going to be heading on to their map pick, Sheep. And I'm going to ask you, give me a percentage, chances of us seeing a map 3.
78.3
For yes?
for yes. Because I do think that heading into their map pick, Viperio Academy have always been a bit more comfortable on Mirage. Not by that much, but it is also a simpler map. And looking at where some of the troubles were lying within the Ancient map, right, the rounds that frustrated us the most, imagine the players in the server themselves, you don't have that as often, right? It's a lot simpler. It either works or doesn't. There's very little room to make wrong decisions at certain side take points.
Percentage chance of going for the full reverse sweep.
350.
Oh, okay. Like 3.5%?
Yeah, 3.5. No, I think heading into a map like Terrain with the new changes, it is still very much new. Viperio could have practiced it as much as they would like. It's going to be just more favor to Glitchtech. just purely based on firepower.
I'm gonna be a hater, and I'm gonna say
Go
we're
on,
not
hate.
we're not sadly going to map 3. I know I predicted Viperio after the way map 1 ended. I've lost all hope.
They're pedaling back hard then.
Yeah. I think Mirage is actually gonna be even more one-sided towards Glitchtech. I think Mirage is a map that plays to their strengths more than anything, and I think we should pretty much stop waffling, stop theory crafting, and witness Glitchpop dismantle Viperio on
Glitchpop?
Mirage. Glitchtech.
Isn't Glitch Pop? No, it's Elemental Pop.
Game 2 is now underway.
Is the perk. Yeah, we are ready to get it going. And I mean, for Mirage, I do like the map. I do actually think.
You like Mirage?
To watch, yeah. I hate to play it.
Okay, fair. Okay, I like that.
I
That's
despise playing Mirage.
relatable.
Anyone, let's have an intimate moment. Mirage is not a fun map to play. It's just so that we had that, but it is a fun map to watch.
that.
Let's see how well these teams will be entertained and will entertain on this little dusty brown map. No, it's not the dust. It's not Anubis. It's that one in between. Mirage, ready to get going.
Many desert themed maps in Counter-Strike. We got Dust 2, Anubis, Mirage. You're in the desert. You got a Mirage.
There's too many.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe we should change the map names for Dust 2. Should just be called Ancient because it's an ancient map. As MMS, gotta get destroyed right away. But Ivan gets an instant trade. There's a nice crossfire here, but it's actually coming in on top of the CTs as Simi again finding. What is this? The 4th triple kill, 5th triple kill he gets this series.
Yeah, and that is like that is the difference, right? Because in a lot of all of the triple kills he has pretty much been getting, it's been middle of a side take from Viperio or middle of an execute, middle of a defense from Viperio. You kind of get into that sort of stalemate where there is a no man's land in the middle because there's smokes down, because there's flashes down. And there has been one man that has been traversing that no man's land throughout this best of 3. That has been Zimzy. And he's been getting multi-kills with it every single time. And that's exactly what they talked about yesterday, so it's good to see that actually on the server.
Yeah. No, I mean, I 100% correct.
Hano.
Hano. A nice headshot flying by from, I believe that was Shane in Palace. Very slow round. Very hard for anything to actually happen. As
just wasting util here.
Yeah, which is good. It's a good play. And now they're gonna lose some HP. NCX does get a kill with a P250 long distance onto MMS. MMS was the main force, I would say, for the CT side of Glitchtech, whereas Ivan took over when they switched sides on the T side of Ancient. So let's see if they're gonna replicate some of that. But shutting down MMS early might be good, you know, halting him in his tracks early.
I mean, one of the very few within these halls that has RMR experience. MMS, of course, with the team he's playing against now, Viperio Academy, were critiqued for leaving the UK scene. So they made an academy team to sponsor the grassroots level of UK, which I do appreciate quite a lot, as it is going to be just a 2-0 on this round. But yeah, Viperio playing against his old organization. He's been with them for like 2 years, I think.
Oh, wow.
Viperio.
So maybe it's a bit of a statement here.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, the should have kept me statement, but no, it's
should have given me a raise statement.
No, they left on good terms. It changes were needed. I mean, that RMR, they didn't make it through. They just barely got the loss against Fnatic at that point. And that was some amazing Counter-Strike to watch. I even did the close qualies for them at that point. Couple maps at least. That was fun.
Easy flex.
Shout out Viperio. Shout out Chris Sword. If you're watching, Chris, shout out.
That's a badass name.
He's a badass man.
Oh, takeover of the B side already on top of Van.
Quick rotates, by the way.
And MMS finds the first one. Gonna get killed by Minimal. Ivan He's gonna have to find someone who doesn't have the best timing there, but he still gets the kill. And Zimzi pushing in through sewers, gets the kill, spots the bomb. Player advantage. It's just one. It's gonna be two. Soon to be back to one. Look at Lake. Could find this. Taking his time. Doesn't want to overcommit. Gets the headshot. Now, with a minute left. Nice flash over the map. Gets the kill. MGMT. Nice assist, but Reese pushing. Losing the bomb. And now, with 50 HP, Lake will have to take Reese into the deep end of this round if he wants to win it.
Let the mind games commence. Reese leaving the bomb has become meta in these 1v1s, especially on the CT side, not hanging about at where that bomb is dropped. Previous years, we would just see it, teams just lurking around at that little beeping, blinking bomb. But we do see Lake trying to move in towards this B bomb site. Reese will probably have no doubt that he's here, but what will Lake do? Will he be even able to cover for this?
Has a smoke. Gets on site. Will have to commit to the bomb plant. The HE will dissipate. It's going to be an easy kill as soon as the bomb gets down. Third on the board. Guess a bit of an economical surge on the back of the bomb plant.
Yeah, there's going to be a buy after this. Pretty certain. Or they're going to go Tech 9s, which I wouldn't be against either. Lake, actually, on his decision making, on his part, pretty much doing everything correctly.
Yeah.
Because he didn't plant at one of the typical spray spots. He planted sort of off topic, or like off normal. See?
Off angle?
Yeah. I'm losing words here and there.
Off default? I don't, yeah.
Non-default. Whatever.
He didn't plant default.
Yes. Well, that took a while to get that out. But, yeah, so he did everything right. But Reese had an 8. Pop, boom. It's done. Boom, pop, bam.
Yeah, Viperio doesn't really understand. I get it. That's good. But they will call a tactical timeout, trying to make sense of what is going on, as they will go for the half buy, as you said. Wait, the pistols. P250. Okay, never mind. NCX says, you know what? I just want an AK-47. And yeah, I mean, his money's not going to be looking great, but maybe he can convert with a couple of kills. MMS turns into a corpse for the T's to kill. Shane very rapid on the tail of Zimzi, and now Ivan somehow misses those bullets. Player advantage for Viperio, but Isaac is in a great angle with the M4A1. Gets a double kill.
That was actually a pretty nice advantage taken of some missed shots, some delay. The trade with the AKs weren't as quick as I would have liked them to be. But then you storm up Khan without really being there. And, I mean, you just took down 2 players on middle. It's very typical in a round like this that there's at least 3. Because they took down short MMS. They took down the bottom mid player. Of course Isaac is still going to be here. Bit of a mistake, but they're going to give themselves an opportunity in the 2v3.
They haven't managed to collect any of the rifles, sadly, for Viperio. And Minimal here, honestly, he could probably try and save, but he will go for the
Get a couple kills then.
Winger Deagle.
At least try and get something. I want to see Viperio take a round right now, just to, I think if they don't at this point, I think their momentum, their mental is gonna be shifted a couple notches down.
I think it's already shot. I think their momentum is done. I think
I think you can still be good after 4-0.
Yeah, but are you gonna be good after map 1 and then 4-0?
They should be. They should be alright.
I've got my doubts.
If they're not, I'm going to be severely disappointed in them. But they're also still very young guys, right? They don't have the amounts of experience that is on the Glitchtech side. So Glitchtech going for quite a secure pickup in terms of who they're getting. And this time a bit more mid-control for those Snake Academies. The Vipers.
Boost to balcony. Zimzi is going to get curious. Tries to spot something above the smokes. We'll see someone throw the molly in short. Oh, they're not going to clear the corner. Look at Zimzi.
No,
He has
no.
2 players under here. What a beautiful angle. He's walking on top of them. He's not going to see them first. NCX opens up the connector, and Ivan will get overwhelmed, but will manage to find the first one. Has to stay alive. Wants to get the second, and he will. Ivan is unstoppable when it comes to this A-bomb site.
Completed through the A main push. A bit of a flub Molly will allow him to exit slightly, but Ivan 2.5 kills in. 3 versus 4. Viperio running into a wall. And it's a 2v3 now. Still that ramp control though.
MMS easily walks up. Not going to be a problem for him to find these shots. Spots one in the smoke. It's Isaac actually getting the final 2 kills and assists for Ivan, who, you know what? I'm going to call that an ace.
Yeah, that was like
3 kills and 2 assists.
Yeah, that was like an AC.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's incredible individual play from Ivan, and we talked about him on map 1. Now map 2 again showing up. Isaac and Zimzi as well with 7 kills each. And 5-0, Sheep. Do you think the mental is shot now, or?
Quite possibly.
But they will repurchase into this coming round.
As a bit of a fight in middle happening. Shane looking to be amongst the wolves there.
He will.
Sheep in wolves clothes.
Gets
out with 2. That's very nice.
And the third. Scores for more Shane! Back to back to back to back, finding 4, opening up Viperio, almost getting online on this map on the back of Shane, dominating connector. And now Riss, 1v5. It will be an impossible ask.
And, well, impossible. He's not even going to attempt it at this point. Maybe, actually, as they've all gone past him, they've gone hunting. There is one player covering this. If management goes down, this is a defuse. If he checks Khan, Reese will check Khan now. Spots it. Will go for the smoke. There's got to be the spray through, right? There's still a nade on Shane. They're going to be all right. They gave us a bit of a scare, but Shane, that was crispy as hell, man. That was beautiful. Out of nowhere. I was expecting him to get 1 or 2 and just pop, 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 pop.
This is the type of round you need to have from one of your players. You've been highlighting, Sheep, since the beginning of the day, the need for Viperio to have someone stand up, show up individually, and maybe rally the troops behind them. And maybe with this round from Shane, it could be the beginning of something beautiful.
That's absolutely what they were missing, and especially after the beautiful round from Ivan just earlier, which was significant team misplays from Viperio, by the way. That round should have been theirs all day if you pause it right in the middle. That may bring in the confidence. In the financials, they're kind of broke for Glitchtech, so B-side. Being attacked.
How is Riz still alive? And the Mess comes in and actually finds the first kill. The AK-47 gets picked up. And look at Shane on the flank. Finds a nice headshot. Is not going to double up as Ivan trades. It's 3 versus 3. Reese is still alive until he finally falls through a spray down to the smoke. But look at the AWP of Isaac.
That's bomb, man. It's on cross. Lovely play, by the way, with the Molly. Just to get that bomb across, and it's an instant plant right after.
They're going to boost. But look at the play. We got someone on the flank. It's late.
That's like
Isaac could find someone here. Lake needs to be a bit
gone
faster.
back, actually.
Drop down, HE to clear. But not going to find it, and this is going to be a save. Viperio finds the second round.
I'm looking for a 6-6 half here for Viperio, which is a tall order. So it's a big mountain to climb here. We only have hills in Kettering, but it is still a big mountain.
Especially at 12 at night. When you go walking home up the hill, it feels like you're climbing the Everest.
you got the bungalow.
Yeah. Man. Well, now the economy of Glitchtech, it's in a very interesting spot because they did save 2 very big weapons. But the other 3 players could probably play with popsicles instead of pistols.
Yeah, just run in there with an ice cream, you know.
I do say that, but they did win a round with USPs, so on the first map.
That's fair. As long as we don't see a push inside any smokes from Viperio Academy, we should be all right here for round number 8. This is quite a dangerous setup. What they got going on potentially is have that bait, so have Zimsy peek out if MMS drops down. It is somewhat likely that Viperio will overlook that position. It's a bit of a gimmicky play, but you see Glitchtech like approaching those gimmicky plays, like the picking their moments very nicely and when to do it. It's not a gimmick is not necessarily a bad thing, to be fair, but let's see how this works out.
Definitely not if you commit to it. As the AK-47 of Ivan that was saved by the opener will get shot down by NCX, but there's a couple more players that need to be killed before you can plant the bomb. The first one falls. There is Reese in spawn, but Zimsy trying to infiltrate with the USP. It's going to be Isaac finding the big op kill. All the way from short onto the A bomb sites. Gets smoked off, but he's going to make it all the way to Uganda. Time to find the kill. Misses the shot. And the second one as well. Someone kill each other! And MGMT is going to come and assist Shane to put an end to that dismay.
I did hear some chats being said, so they're probably laughing at each other at this point, which is absolutely worth it.
Justified, yeah.
You're hearing a lot of vulgarity being shouted through these halls, but there are very little actual feuds going on. There's gonna be
not the Counter-Strike players. No. Counter-Strike players are the most peaceful ones here at Sheep. I think it must be the OSU community, the most toxic.
You're actually putting like community versus community on here now. Isaac spawning ahead, but not really flicking to it. And management, that's some great awareness.
This might be the first op duel we see MGMT win all weekend long on stream. Not even joking here. As Ivan, last man standing in Ninja, I guess.
But it's going to be Reese with a possible push through. Ivan can absolutely get away with a double here, as they just haven't done their due diligence.
Two-player advantage for Viperio Academy, and by the way this round is going, and looking at the economy, Viperio could be very well heading for what you wanted, Sheep, and that is closer to inching, getting that 6th round. MMS will still find a kill. I feel like every single time he's in a 1v1 duel, he wins.
Yeah, he's been getting a lot of opening frags. Actually, his Mirage hasn't been that heavy in the output. Minimal getting a great round here, 2 kills. Chiming in, and Shane gets some rest, you know, after carrying Viperio to their 2nd round overall.
Did you see that? I felt like that was quite of a strange... It felt like a miscommunication between MMS and Reese. It looked like Reese wanted to save in CT spawn, but MMS kept pushing, forcing Reese to re-engage. Again, we don't have access to their TeamSpeak or Discord, but it really looked that way to me.
We can ask them outside in a bit.
Remember around 9, you were 2v4.
Usually the players have pretty good memory about certain rounds, but it's always fun to like kind of reminisce with them, kind of get like a sort of complete off-stream interview with the players. Like, by the way, the round where you went through the smoke, and then it's like, yeah, Ancient, you went through smoke, Donut, early, 2nd half, that, and it's like, oh yeah, and then they'll explain their entire thought process in that round. I do appreciate it a lot.
You know, the best part is you can try to prank them, ask them about a play on a map they haven't played, and see if they just make it up.
For example, the 2nd round we had yesterday, where both teams were playing their permaban. That was beautiful. Right, we just see the push now.
Shane, about to rack a couple of kills, finds the first headshot and the second.
Sharp
easy pickings for
again.
him. Now he will reposition, going for the 3rd. Wants to collect another 4K. Yeah, are we going to give him the ace this time? No. It's NCX taking it away from him. Shane going for a couple of 4Ks. This one less impressive, as it was versus Pistols.
Still nice. All headshots, I'm pretty sure, as well. So Shane getting his aim right, getting his aim correct before heading into these last couple. And could even, realistically, still be a 7-5. Wouldn't be too far-fetched at this point.
No, of course not. And Glitchtech has started to show signs of weakness in the last, well, 5 rounds.
Somehow we're seeing more consistently landed window smokes here than in the PGL Kaluzhna Poker tournament.
I mean, have you seen the top 4 teams? It doesn't surprise me. Australia says the the king of the knife rounds, not the best.
Yeah, Astralis is just pure hate watch at this point.
Yeah.
Shout out Ficosts, our NA friends.
Resmoking up, that's
I
smoke.
love this. Shane, I'm a fan. Well, it's going to be I-fan, still on the bomb side of A. Could be falling victim to this flank.
Molly in short. He's gonna find one before he falls. Off-field.
Oh,
Rare
wonderful.
miss from Isaac, and now Ivan doesn't find anybody there. Clear advantage for Viperio. You gotta save here. I don't think you can contest. Look at the utility. There's another Molly for Shane that can be thrown in CT, but they're gonna go for it. Flash is coming in, and CX gonna go for the pop flash, winding up top. There's 1 and 2, and the triple kill for NCX to get a semi-ace in round 11.
Oh, again a 4K. Viperio Academy are enabling their individuals at this point. And what I've been seeing, right, it's Viperio, if they want to win a round, they're going to have to do the start of the round well, the mid-round well, and then the end round well, preventing that retake from happening. If one of those goes the way of Glitchtech, it's pretty much a Glitchtech round, which is big props looking at the round streak Viperio have just put down, because this is looking great.
They have to force. It's the last round of the half. We got double FAMAS and 3 M4A1s, no AWP. That MMS is getting curious, and he's being very hot on their tail. Gonna find Shane with a molly in his hand and find the kill. A bit of a jitters here, but look at Reese. Lake has already infiltrated by his side, and Reese is attracting a lot of the CTs towards him like a magnet. One on the flank, one inside. HE's under him, but he manages to stay alive. Again, Reese gives away his position. Lake somehow still on the bomb side, and he does finally fall, but the bomb will be able to get planted across on the A bomb site. Minimal. Finds one. Again, going a bit aggressive. There was a gap in the smoke that allowed Ivan to get the kill. And now NCX will have to be the one to make something happen in connector.
Close range, NCX will catch 1, 2 versus 3. This could be a beautiful round from them, but it's going to be all on management. He can take revenge on that failed 1v2, and he steps out too wide again. Oh, management, be careful with your life. It's so valuable. But he's not there, and the defuse actually cutting it close.
He will get it.
But MMS, cool as a cucumber, will not have any worries. He's a very cool dude. Give him sunglasses, and he has like the aura of a blues singer. Marco, absolutely love him, by the way.
MGMT actually sticks true to his name. Most management workplaces these days do commit quite questionable decisions.
Jesus. Oh, that's yeah. Okay, that has layers actually. That joke. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, I mean, management. He probably has already, but if he watches back his demos of his clutch opportunities, he's gonna kick himself in the head about how frustrated he's probably getting. Because it is just, if you get 1 kill on that AWP, there is zero damn information that they can have. You can just hide. Like, you can't get the bullet out that quick.
You're an op player. You get the first kill. You start feeling yourself.
But he's still cocking back the gun when he's peeking. Reload peek.
It's a 6-6, which is what you wanted, and now a 4v4 in this pistol round. MMS P250 versus Lake's dualies, and Lake has been shot down so many times this game. 3 and 10. He needs to stay alive as he's got a storm of T's coming his way.
3 CTs here, so they do have quite a good setup. Need a multi-kill somewhere in here, though.
It's a double.
It's going to be on Lake.
But Zimzi is
again
unstoppable, man. Zimzi is making a run for the MVP of this series, I gotta say. Shane, 1 versus 2, doesn't have any armor. It will have to be the smoke and defuse. Already on top of sight. Getting closer. Gives away his position, spots both of the players, but he gets drive-by headshot and smoke on the bomb. What an attempt. It's not gonna work out.
You can kind of like bounce that off the wall. He didn't really have to underhand that one. But yeah, that might have been him kind of mentally giving up on that round already. But yeah, I mean, overall, a bit of a dicey one, because a lot of the hard work has been lost now with this pistol. Because, yeah, you fought back on a pretty significant lead, and all of a sudden, you're going to give a bit of a lead away again.
What is this?
Oh, I really wish we would have seen like 3 nades come in.
Risk! Risk! Oh, only finds one. Okay. That could have been way, way worse. Look at Isaac. Hello? Maybe stop for a second before you try to kill him. 8 bullets left is not enough, but Zimzi will be there to find one. MGMT and Minimal. Final 2 USBs about to get collected by the Galil.
Sometimes I feel like I get motion sickness when the player view model is on the left-hand side.
Yeah. I
Like
get it.
every time I see Isaac move, I kind of like adjust myself to be like, oh, wait, actually, I have to recover from it every time. So, I don't know.
What do you think of the new Nico view model? Have you seen it?
I was talking to an artist about it. Apparently, his view model angle, I don't know why, but apparently it's actually different on the M4s than it is on any of the other weapons. So on the M4s, it is dead straight, but on the other weapons, it's like slightly tilted to the right, which is very weird. And Artist was mentioned because Artist is rocking a horrendous view model as well, to be fair. And he's watched a bit too much A-Team, the A-Team, right? Because every gun he's carrying, it purely looks like he's shooting from the hip, like from in front of him, just like holding it. But he has RMR experience, so who am I to doubt?
Is this an identity crisis? Several sheep. Ivan gets the opening.
The name kind of implies. And fans 2 away. Rushing winds, cycling through that A bomb site.
And CX, if he finds a kill on Zimzi here, it could be quite helpful for the retake. And he does not get the headshot. It has to be safe. Okay, MGMT, you gotta commit to something. Stop switching between.
And then, oh. MGMT has not had a good morning with a lot of these peaks on the time.
Gets 2 now. Makes it
Bomb's
doable.
halfway.
Do they have a
no
kit?
kit.
They don't have a kit.
Yeah.
They have to retrieve a kit
Womp
or
womp.
retreat. Nah, okay. It's not just MGMT, right? Lake has had a very quiet morning already with both the Ancient numbers and the Mirage numbers so far. 4 and 12. He's gonna find 1 at least now. 5 and
Lots
12.
of damage.
Okay, they wanted to get the AK out of his hands. I was wondering why did Lake just started running away on his knife.
Money is somewhat rough for
Definitely
the
for the
side.
cities.
It's not gotten out of hand just yet. But you're on a scrappy buy now. When your Viperio Academy, you're 3 rounds down, that second half pistol continuing to be of great amounts of influence within these games, within these halls. And Viperio Academy now, you need something, right? You need something to happen. There needs to be an X factor in this round, either a call or a play or a setup. The setup's been pretty default, and CX getting baited in, but I know for a fact Marco will likely check, or it's Reese actually, that will likely check that.
And CX. It's all on his shoulders. Lake has done everything to distract him from this position. He did bet on checking it. Doesn't seem to be the case quite yet. Reese. Okay, he will check. They do get the trade, as we're suddenly getting disconnected from Windows. Minimal.
It was a bit of a fake thrown, but Viperio Academy haven't really fallen for it. Minimal, that's a brilliant timing. Getting that headshot onto Marco.
And now Shane is in sight. They have smoked up Palace, but Shane has such a great angle to find a couple of kills here. He's gonna get 1 and a bit of damage to the second, but Isaac gets the Palace player. Now Isaac alone. First kill on the map. 1 versus 2. If he makes it happen, it will completely destroy Viperio Academy. Lake is on his tail with a Mac 10. Fakes the bomb plant, does not commit. Thank you, Bill Gates.
So much riding on this.
Nice.
And they do get it. Oh, comfort is there. That nearly went wrong with Shane's peak. Oh my goodness, I was biting my tongue there. Shane spotting the shadow and then stepping out wide, trying to be sort of ahead of the play, because Ivan is absolutely a player that would kind of just let his shadow be seen and then just full wide swing, like dunk peek him straight out of that position. Shane saw that risk. It's cost him a multi-kill, but at least he guaranteed the 1. I did start to worry. Viperio Academy call the timeout as they want to slow it down. They need some rest. Maybe by the amounts of chats I hear, there might also be a bit of a tech issue on their end, but I think it's just a tactical pause. Because this is not enough just yet, right? You win this round, nice setups, nice rotates, but you're going to need more. You're going to need to make plays yourself.
Well, this is going to be a force from the T side, and
that's dangerous.
Yeah, but if you punish it, then it's going to bring it back to an even. And it's shades of map 1. We were looking at a similar 9-7, if you remember, Sheep.
Yes, yes, yes.
And it's a B rush. Similar to the pistol round we saw, but it was Viperio doing it on the pistol lake. This is his opportunity to shine and find a multi-kill.
He doesn't know Isaac is ahead, and that Isaac's going to be very close.
Lake gets the first. Stays alive as NCX doubles up from short. Another HE will be coming in, pushing back the T's. Oh, good molly. Reese, how did he get here?
What? He just walked up connector. That is unsettling, as all of a sudden you have to worry about a ghost man in your midst. As where has Reese gone now? Lots to worry. Lake's in a great position here. I don't know how Zimzy keeps getting these trades, man.
Yeah, neither do I.
It's insane.
He is very good at this game, isn't he?
Pep Guardiola.
Gets on site. He needs his teammate to come in. But he will lose Reese as Zimzy gets overwhelmed by the numbers. Viperio taking 3 guns into the next one. Glitchtech's economy should be in shambles. The lost bonus will kick in, but maybe from next round.
That's what Reese called him, by the way, outside yesterday. I was talking with him, and Reese just looks at me, goes, "That's Pep Guardiola." Just points at Zimzy.
I like that. No, that's good.
No clue what the context is behind it, but apparently it's there somewhere.
Decent player, even better coach.
I guess. But, yeah, it's been a fun one. Just, Jesus, that nade. That's 200 damage at least. But, well, this is third 4K.
This map? Or this
map.
Tournament? I don't know. It might be.
Could be both.
It might be the 6th or 7th this entire series, actually. Because he got, like, remember, multiple on...
This is 3 4Ks now for Shane. Management has had 1 4K. NCX has had 1 4K. Viperio have been having those individuals frag slightly to compromise for Lake and Minimal not really being there. But Lake and Minimal both are starting to get a lot more impactful frags, right? They're playing nasty positions. Because Minimal's A anchor, Lake is B anchor. You're not going to get easy kills, right?
To compensate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't I say that? What did I say? Compromise.
Compromise.
Ah, same.
It's okay. Just joking. Well, finally, score is 9-all. No AWP for Glitchtech, but they are taking control of the mid side of the map. NCX gotta wait for the flash.
Single challenge, not a fan.
MGMT. There's a gap in the smoke, doesn't see anybody. He needs to be the one to find the opening here.
Boost does go up as the smoke fades. Management just chiming in with 1. Wait, that's MM. Huh? Okay, well, MMS with a very Viperio Academy play, just going out of his smoke at the stairs. Not really sure what the idea was there. Seeing Reese go through con, thought, I can do that too.
Gets the second. Find the third as MGMT starting to wrap up the kills, and he gets another
4K.
That's the one.
GG! Woo! It is double digits for Viperio Academy, and all of a sudden Glitchtech look like they're losing control.
Well, at least we're getting closer to what we wanted, Sheep, which was, of course, train.
Hell yeah. I'm not gonna do the whistle because I know when I pick up the mic, I have a mean train whistle.
We gotta do it if we make it a train.
But I will hold the mic further away from my face.
That's
Because whistling into microphones, especially these ones, I will absolutely kill everyone's ears. I'd be the reason for multiple surgeries.
Mr. Beast? No? Okay, sorry. Sorry, guys. Another tactical pause being used right now as we speak. As it will have to be an eco Viperio Academy. Hopefully they're not going to throw this one through a smoke as they have done on Ancient, and they should easily get the 11th round on the board. Sheep is giving me a thumbnail face.
Mr. Beast! Is that Rap Battles parody thing? Never mind. Some people at home may know. Tech 9s and higher pace. Name of the game for Glitchtech.
This is the third player getting 19 on the board for Viperio Academy, and it's going to be Shane getting a triple kill. Let me guess, he's going for the 4K. I know. He actually picks up the Glock from the ground. Isaac, hello. What resolution do you play with? Because everybody and their mother could have seen the leg of the CT on the box.
4x3 maybe. Or like 4x3 black bars, which some actually still play.
I believe one of the Alaska players,
Artist,
has
it. But he's old, so I kind of understand. Because he started on like screens that are actually that size.
How old is he?
I actually don't know.
He can't be that old. You can't just call people old if you don't know how old they are.
I'm old myself.
Yeah.
I kind of have a free pass.
Everybody on Viperio Academy says hit double digits. Meanwhile, one of the stars of Game 1 MMS for Glitchtech is actually
27.
It's not that old.
That's not that old. It's esports old.
Not even. How old is Simple?
31?
What?
29 or something? I don't know.
27. I think he's 27.
I have no clue, man.
Anyway, it's a bit of a slower round as we get Glitchtech versus Viperio Academy. Round 21 coming up soon.
Again, there's middle control, but Viperio Academy have been gladly handing this over. Like they've been quite alright with letting this con control head the way of Glitchtech. Not really challenging it much because they have been having great success. Look at this rotate from Lake right behind. As soon as Lake steps out wide, recent MMS are going to get a very tough time to be efficient here. On the other end, looking at the rotate, there's going to be some pressure on minimal. A anchor again, but no support from the op. They put that op over towards B. That also causes a rotate, so nice setup. Very good stuff from Viperio. Only 30 seconds.
CX gets the 2 kills in connector. He's gonna almost kill Isaac, jumping in on top of Sandwich. Falls back, many more aggressive a teammate, but Riz gets a kill onto Lake. You are talking about how crucial he could be there. The smoke dissipates, and Riz finds another one. They're getting the kills. Glitchtech is doing this 3 versus 5 to a 3 versus 1. MGMT tries to sneak up through the smoke, and they say, we don't need Ivan or MMS. We can do this 3v5 all day long.
Wow, that... To be fair to Viperio Academy, that was a brilliant play by Reese. Because that defensive smoke is pretty popular. Underhand that smoke when you're holding the CT. Make sure that that smoke is just a bit deeper in the bomb site so no CT control can ever be taken. That's a... Blowing up that smoke. You saw the reaction from the Viperio Academy guys. You just saw them turn like, what? Like, how do they think of this?
It was probably NCX turning around angry for killing 2.5, and then nobody else died as well. Even with the surprise smoke dissipation of the HE, I really believe you should be able to trade for each other at that point.
Yeah, you should be, right? But, I mean, it's what I touched on earlier, where Viperio Academy do need to have the start, the middle, and the end round. They need to play perfect rounds, or at least close to perfect rounds, to get a round win. Glitchtech just had one good moment in that round, and they win it. That's the difference. That's the Epic Land champ diff.
They're swinging mid for some reason, changing up the pace.
Like it though.
Let's see if he's gonna succeed. They have taken control of it, falling back. It was a very good read as Glitchtech did have 3 players towards that side, and meanwhile, they've given up A, and that's Ivan already infiltrating and getting caught off guard.
Great reads by Viperio. Thoroughly impressed by what they're showing here.
MMS might have a timing on Lake. MMS swings. Lake stays alive. Actually jumps out and wins the duel. Full confidence from Lake, who has had a resurgence in the last 5 rounds.
jumping up to that stairs thing in the 180. That's going to be a bit frustrating, rubbing it in the face of Marco to get that 1 kill. NCX at some point, looking at how deep Minimal already is, I'm curious why there's no one helping him close range. MGMT should be able to get there, but as before, middle's completely open, so NCX, big order.
This could be a mistake if NCX dies right away, but he's going to spot ahead and gets the first hot shot. Stay else alive, buy some time, 2 seconds as fast, finds the second kill.
Good stuff.
And Viperio Academy, on their map pick of Mirage, have 2 map points. And the economy of Glitchtech isn't good because, well, they have won 1 round but lost the next. It's not great. They're not going to have an op. They're not going to have full utility, whereas the CTs have been running with over 7-8K for the last 4 rounds.
I'm glad to see this. Like
So am I.
Because it's been difficult, right, for Viperio Academy in a lot of these games in UKIC and in a couple of matches here as well. But this is looking awesome. MGMT Combat opping. Let's see him show up.
Scale. 4 versus 3. 90 seconds left to get the bomb down, but the player HP doesn't look too healthy as they're getting pushed on. They're getting caught by surprise, and it's gonna have to be Riss. He has had some stellar rounds, but this might have to be the biggest round of his entire career. Does he even have the bomb? He does.
Glitchtech have been getting into their own heads, and there has been a little snake crawling around in between their gray mass. Viperio Academy 13-10 with a very, very impressive show.
If you're like a snake in an academy, does that make you a worm? You're like a mini snake?
Yeah, and it felt like on some of the side takes, when they cut one head down, 2 more came out. They would be staying alive. They would duplicate on there as Viperio Academy really, really stepped up to the task, right? You saw some of these rounds where they didn't cover for the potential risks that is playing against Glitchtech. For now, in that second half, we saw 1 round, that 3v5. You're gonna lose those.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen. But after that, the response instantly, push top middle, retreat, and they went whoop straight to the A bomb site, going for another aggressive push towards the ramp. And that was just settling in that round, completely catching Ivan off guard. He got triple peaked on Tetris. That doesn't really happen that often for your viewers at home. If you're curious, that's not normal. It's just very, very good stuff from the Viperio Academy. Legit. Like, legit good Counter-Strike.
I did say they could win this, although I was very much in doubt after map number 1. I thought their mental would be in shambles. Again, 5 rounds down in the first half. I really thought they would be taken out. But those, you know, small glimmers of hope we had from them yesterday in the defeats we had on stream is what made me believe. And I'm glad to see that their confidence still is there. And that's kind of what you can use to ride the wave going into train, which will be our map 3 that we're gonna get after a short break. Choo choo.
Nothing to obey, we're tearing down our own way. Can't they see our souls are one? Path to the sun has begun. Don't ever be afraid, forever our fates are made. Everywhere there's Saturdays, we have future here to stay. I'm peeling back the skin from the person I've been. Don't wanna be tied down, can you see the light? Throw your face to the stars, far away with no scars. It's written in my cards, this is my reality. Peel back the skin, I'm not the person I've
stop gaming.
As the competition, but if you go against me, you the opposition. But if you wanna test to look like you can close the distance, I'ma give it A forever since you're so persistent. With you, I'm just practicing, cause I'm back to back, let's get back to winning. As a matter of fact, I'm not that forgiving, cause you did this to yourself, that's a bad decision. I don't see no one in front of me, you is a ghost, you ain't got a soul. Whoa, always say that they gon' come for me, knowing they won't, they doing the most. Whoa, chasing my, gotta get already, not selling my, you on the, y'all moving, ready to, whoa. Set the scene, no plot, hoes, whoa, please don't play me, cause when I let the beat sound, you think I'm crazy, but none of you critics gon' faze me, so when I talk like this, don't blame me, I know I'm bad with it, go against a goat, that's bad business, all of y'all are jokes so sad with it, to me, you're just a ghost, don't get mad with me, just, it's a mind, gotta get, already, not selling my, you on the, y'all moving, ready to, whoa.
song has begun. Don't ever be afraid, forever our fates are made. Everywhere there's Saturdays, we have future here to stay. I'm peeling back the skin from the person I've been. Don't wanna be tied down, can you see the light? Throw your face to the stars, far away with no scars. It's written in my cards, this is my reality. This is my reality. This is my reality. Feel like the skin, I'm not the person I've been. We're heavy hitters, we deliver, yeah.
Never stop gaming.
Hello, overclockers. Welcome to the decisive Game 3 between Viperio Academy and Glitch, not Pop, but Tech, Glitchtech. Finally, we're getting...
Train. Hell yeah.
I thought you were going to...
So,
No.
well,
Sound?
what? Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to get ready for train as the station is filling up now. It's a bit delayed, but that's typical with UK public transport, so no worries about that. As Glitchtech, more like Glitch Tilt, they were off the face of the earth. At this point, I saw them outside, some pretty stern talking. They were still decently calm, right? They were managing.
How's the volume like? Like loud? Or?
No, it was like, okay, it was stern, but it was still fine. But I mean, that tilt, you could see it in the server as well, because there were some plays that really just weren't working out for them, that typically, according to them especially, should always work out for them.
So we're one map away from a disband.
Possibly.
You heard it here, the insider right here, ladies and gentlemen.
We're one map away from a big disappointment for Glitchtech, as this is like one of those matchups that we were kind of expecting later on in the bracket, and it would have probably been the case had Glitchtech and Control Alt Delete defeat. Jesus, I'm getting so much wrong now. But yeah, the CAD team, they finished 8th. Glitchtech finished 9th. That was purely on round difference, so that's been a bit of a bummer for Glitchtech. So heading into that, I mean, this matchup would have probably been a lot later, at least upper bracket.
Weren't Glitchtech technically, I believe, fifth seed coming into the tournament?
Yep.
Fifth or sixth.
Yep,
Okay.
they were very highly seeded, and it's mostly their matchup versus Dusty that kind of screwed them over.
Yeah.
That was a matchup where, you know, in these group stages, you always have a couple matches where it's like those are your should wins, those are your should losses, and then you have the important ones. For Glitchtech, that Dusty game was the important one, and they got to 9 rounds, and then they forgot how to play CS, and Dusty stormed across their bodies. So it's a bit rough.
Well, we're not going to talk about that, and hopefully they're not talking about that right now because they need to focus on Train, a map which I want to say it's the first time we get here on stream at EPIC44.
Nope. Yesterday evening we had it. We did have one overtime on it as well already, so the bar's been set pretty damn high. As we head into it, I am very, very excited to cast Train again. It's been, like, since Train got added, I casted, I think it was around 11 days after Train was added, so that is 22 best of 3s. And I didn't get Train once. Up until like very recently, I have my first couple of Train games.
Are you a Train enjoyer? Do you play Train?
Yeah, I like that I'm not playing it on Face It mostly. On Matchmake, it's pretty okay because no one knows what the hell they're doing, so it's fun.
Yeah.
Heading into it on Face It, if you play against a 5-stack on Train, you're gonna get your ass handed to you on a silver platter.
Did you play Train before, like back in the day?
Yeah. I was one of those Pop Dog XM guys.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
I do love the XM, but I also do love Pop Dog, and I feel like you're disrespecting that part.
I'm like
of
the
map.
anti-Rops. Rops is always good on the ladder. I do not know how ladders work. I have near 5k hours. I avoid ladders at all costs.
Is that in-game, or you just avoid ladders in real life too?
No, like in general. Yeah, I just...
Is that a phobia?
Yeah, maybe. Ladder phobia.
So do you take
That's why I never played the ladders in Face It.
Ah, I see. What about snakes and ladders? Is that a problem?
Now, last time I got a panic attack, so probably not worth it. This bit's going on for way too long.
No, like I was about to have a segue. Viperio, snakes and ladders. Come on! I was going somewhere with that one.
Sorry, I didn't see the vision.
Well, Train is, despite the new iteration, still pretty one-sided CT map. Maybe not as much as it used to be. And the reason I think it's still not as one-sided as historically speaking, because teams have yet to fully figure out the map, right? It's still very new, and there's a lot of things that have changed, especially, I would like to say, maybe more with the outside, A side of the map and yard than with the B-bomb side. But, you know, with the addition of the balcony, the windows between inside ramps and B, that adds a different type of flavor, you could say, to the map. But another aspect, you know, Train has always been one of the maps very heavily influenced by flashes and smokes. But in CS2, the smokes are obviously not as strong as they used to be.
Yeah, and especially, well, you see a sort of iteration about the Kerrigan smokes. You always see that sort of change up where you have one at the back of the red train, one going to the top of Ivy, and then you have one player sort of lurking behind that. What you can even do is connect 4 smokes, red to bomb site, red to brown train, and then smoke off Ivy on both ends. Then you really can have some play sneaking through that smoke, isolating players. You can get very stuck at the back of the bomb site. I haven't seen proper util sets for it yet, or at least effectively used. But yeah, I'm wondering what these teams' approaches are going to be. I have a feeling we might be able to see some T-sides getting really stuck.
Yeah, and obviously, as always, especially with the MR12, pistols are crucial.
Oh, T-side pistols are massive.
That is probably... I mean, in this current iteration of Counter-Strike, I want to say T-side pistol Train is the most important pistol round of any of the maps.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. If you have an equal matchup and you lose that T-side pistol, you are royally screwed. One favorable part, especially at this level, is those Glocks do carry quite the advantage, especially on LAN, where sometimes footsteps can't really be heard as properly as sometimes at home. Rushing through, getting those Glocks straight to the face could be a good one, and probably we're going to see like MMS or Reese getting on that P250 or Zimzi, if that will be the T-side start. I think we do decide with a knife round, having one eye at production. Yes, we do have that knife round to start off with. That's going to be an important one as well.
Probably the most important.
Shall we try hard cast it?
Sure.
Do you wanna do like what? Shall I set you up
Yeah, of
and
course.
then machine had like the rep
Okay.
the rep the cast?
Let me cook.
I'll let you cook. I'll be the sous chef.
I'll
That's
be
a-
the client. I don't know.
Anyone who's never worked in a restaurant is totally lost now. Have you ever worked in a restaurant?
Canteen?
Yeah, fine. But we are looking to see if we can get some nice Australian dinner for Glitchtech, roasted snake.
I do like that you brought up that MMS buying the P250 because MMS has been, score-wise, the player that has fallen off the most between Ancient and Mirage. I don't
Yeah.
think he even ended up breaking double digits, or if he did, it was in the lower portions of the scoreboard, which is quite uncharacteristic for him.
Yeah. I love MMS to death. I really do. But him and a rough Mirage map go hand in hand. Like, I've seen him have, like, the most amount of times he's had a tough game. It's been a Mirage.
Does MMS stand for Mirage might suck?
That's, yeah, most likely, yeah. I'm too dumb to think of another abbreviation. But, yeah, it's been a rough one for him. And he doesn't play the best roles on Mirage, but then he also just doesn't play that well on Mirage anyways. So that always is a bit difficult. At least for the team, but that's no worry for now, right? It's only going to be looking ahead, and I'm also looking to see if we're going to get some sort of unique plays. How many gimmicks have been prepared for this?
Well, I think Train has historically been a very I mean, still is, but maybe a bit less with the way Yard is kind of blocked off by the extra extended walls between lines 5 and 4, well, 6 and 4 respectively. And I gotta say, the AWP used to be the most oppressive weapon on the map.
You'd get triple ops often.
Exactly. Like going back to 1.6 days, that would be the things that people would go for constantly. You get triple ops. I remember back in 2010, you would get triple ops on the T side. You would just use flashes, get out from popped up, and try to take the duels because the map was so long, so wide, and the angles were just enabling you to do that. I'm kind of sure we're not going to see that here, especially with the economy of MR12, but I still think the AWP will be a very, very strong weapon on the CT side. The question is, have the teams prepared enough to enable an AWPer on the T side to counter the CT one?
I mean, it's easier to do, but there aren't as many fights. What you mentioned, what you would have on Train is like every single time you'd have an op v op duel, it would be able to continue, like, for example, if there's a flash, whatever, as soon as one shot's missed, there is 5 different angles that can suddenly pop up. That isn't as much the case. There's the IV main, there is the stop sign main. There's no stop sign anymore, but still the same call out, at least from what I've had. And then stop sign pop dog, like IV pop dog. That's pretty much it in terms of op sidelines. And then, of course, from Con a couple, but it isn't as often that you see these sniper fights happening.
It is that, but one of the reasons in the late iterations of CSGO Train we would see slightly less AWPs, it was the presence of Heaven outside. That's been completely removed. There's no Heaven, there's no ladder to go up to anywhere, there's no windows to cover there, and I think those were great positions that couldn't be smoked off or mollied off, and that's why just a player with an M4A1 could hide, pop out, and kill someone just sneaking out. This portions of the map, the levels of the map being completely dissipated on the A bomb side, I think might actually put the AWP players in an advantage because it's way easier to just clear horizontal angles than vertical plus horizontal.
Yeah, especially for T-side opping.
Yeah.
So we are seeing a lot more impact to be available for those T-side oppers. What I've also noticed, there's less plays on top of the train.
Yes,
Way
there
less.
are less trains. I think that's the reason. Previously, you
So
had
percentage-wise, they should use the trains that are still left more often, but it's just open sidelines now.
I think the reason is when you had multiple trains, it was easier to transition from one top of the train to the other. Whereas now, the distance between trains and the lack
And you
of
can't
trains,
get on top of ground train, right? At
I think
Ivy.
I think you can do
Maybe
that.
with a run boost.
But
Like a boost.
again, there's no
Never
train.
seen
There's no
someone
train
do it.
on lane 5. That is
No.
a big
Yeah.
problem, and that's one of the reasons why we will see Electric Box be even more contested than historically speaking.
I do still very much like that fight. That is one of my favorite fights to view. That E-Box against Pop Dog fight. This is going to be a knife round head off.
We're getting underway. It's going to be Isaac, the spearhead of the attack, going to get the first knife in, and now Zimzi going in with the carrot, but getting the kill. Ivan doubling up. It's an advantage for the CTs, and they're going to maintain their side as they only lose one player to the bite of the Vipers.
That's a pretty dominant showing. That's going to be the CT side kicking off. Oh, very nicely done, by the way. I was very much considering beatboxing over that.
With this music
But,
coming on top of us.
Yeah. I'm very glad that the broadcast doesn't pick it up, but we're right in the firing line of the speakers.
Back to a tech pause. It's fine.
Hell yeah.
I think I know the reason why the tech pause is here. Train is such a beautifully remade map that I think the computers are just burning their FPSs through the ground. Players are just like, wow, my skins are shining, but my computer's dying.
You feel the heat increasing already on the other end of this hall, where we're now realizing, oh yeah, these PCs are going to be running at near 90 centigrade. But also, you mentioned you started picking up on getting that 1.6 train map.
Yeah.
I somewhat realized that was when, pretty much last when UK CS was still consistently playing majors, and I forgot what the name was of that UK CS team, mostly because they played in 3 different orgs within every year, but I remember Train being one of their better maps.
Wow.
I remember like a couple of matches going. I remember a couple of matches versus the back then very powerful Fnatic team. I remember like that the UK team was
This might be a
one
bit
of the few to challenge them.
Yeah. This might be even a bit earlier than the end of 1.6. I think
It was like 2008.
2009, 2008,
Yeah.
maybe the latest. And then I think there was some
while
UK
ago.
brilliancy
Jesus.
from Counter-Strike source. I think you had the likes of Rattlesnake and Weber.
That's the name, yeah.
Yeah. Some sensational players. And they had, I believe, their teammate, which I want to say was Irish Neil Zinho,
Yes.
who I think he's currently a coach for Valorant and a female Valorant team, I want to say. And speaking of Valorant, Sheep, well, all weekend long, I've been meaning to tell our viewers at home about a phenomenal supporter. You might have seen the clips, is none other than Vector Strike, a game supporting EPIC44 right now. Vector Strike is an amazing game. It's a combination of Rocket League plus Valorant. And Sheep, I've played a bit of the game this morning before we went live, and I gotta say, it's very, very fun.
I am looking to play it today. I have sat down with them to just have a bit of a chat because I was very interested about it. And yeah, it's just sort of trying to make like a Rocket League competitor, right? We've had first-person shooters go all across the board, everyone chiming in with their one, even Fortnite joining it now.
Yeah.
So that's been a staple, right? This sort of Counter-Strike base to move on to different games. But also now, Rocket League hasn't really had that much, and they thought they'd fill that gap.
Well, for me, Vector Strike was great because I'm a mouse and keyboard player, of course, like most CS players.
It's
And
a
when
lot
I-
easier on mouse and keyboard.
Exactly.
Yes.
Vector Strike is great, and it's now the alpha online on Steam. You can go find it as the pistol round is on the way, and it's storming down lower ramp. And Shane gonna find one, but look at MMS trying to connect with a second headshot, doesn't quite manage to do it, and Isaac comes in with the assist from the top of connector. Ooh, Glock headshot, not getting the kill done. Ooh, this is MMS somehow still alive.
Yeah, and somehow still not finding a second kill. Both things are true. Isaac, already hurt from an earlier fight, finds an off angle, and CX and IFN 1v1.
The bomb is in the position of the T. He's going to go for it, get mid of the plant, and Ivan's going to have the perfect timing, getting the kill, misses the shot, and NCX gets the pistol victory for Viperio.
NCX, bobbing, weaving, floating like a butterfly, stinging like a viper. That is a beautiful 1v1 victory here on Train, and we were yapping about the importance of that T-side pistol. That's a way to win it.
A couple of a bit of uncharacteristic mistakes. MMS not managing to find a second, and Ivan balling to get the headshot on the planting T, allowing Viperio to kickstart things off. And look at it, they're not hesitating. They're playing the long range of the map with Galils and AKs. Shooting gallery?
Well, the gallery fights back. As it is 2 USP kills. I doubt it'll be more, as they're just going to be rushing into Lake. Lake, who was very happy about his second half performance, by the way, when I just spoke to him. Yeah, don't bother with the util. No one knows the lineups yet.
What's lineup next to them? They just bounced the flash off to the side of the map. They will see if the AK and the Galil. This would be quite
solid,
big.
Actually.
Yeah. Very big pickoffs. And if they could find another Viperio kill, that would be massive. As this is such a nasty angle from Shane.
Yeah, I love playing that angle. It's betrayed me a couple times, but especially with that AWP in mid rounds, you're going to see some beautiful fights happening over there. I'm looking to see what area of the map Viperio are going to prioritize. Well, they'll retrieve the weapons dropped earlier, but
I think, and this is going to maybe might be a potential controversial opinion.
Oh, shoot it away!
I think the way this current train plays best is you prioritize the B bomb site with every now and then presence in yard. I think playing connector and even former ladder room is not as good. I don't know why. I just feel like the timings don't really work out in that favor. And look at the players like Viperio completely abandoning connector. Nobody heads that way. Maybe MGMT a bit late now.
And MGMT won't be stopped by that Molotov because it failed.
Yeah.
This is going to be a nice push. We're seeing this more often than not, and it's 3 players thick. iFan with 2 and MMS with 1 more. That's the round done already.
Although this is, hypothetically speaking, the bonus round for Viperio, right? Although they have invested for rifles from the get-go. So, you know, there's only so much you can say. A lot of damage has been done, so maybe MGMT could finish off a couple of these kills, only finds 1. And Glitchtech has to start racking up the rounds because, I mean, how many rounds do you want them to get on their CT side? 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've casted a couple games where 10 isn't enough.
Yeah. I mean, and they've already, I mean, that's the maximum they could get at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Alaska beat Aurora on this map, and it was similar halves going very, very deep CT runs. Viperio Academy, they're going to be a bit bummed out that weren't able to complete that last round. It's going to be MGMT with a lower buy, so that off will come out round 5, I reckon. Or round 6, actually.
Depends a bit on any bomb. Minimal 1, Galil headshot. And some damage onto Isaac. And see, this is what I was telling you about. I think playing for connector here is a huge mistake, and we see it. First round, Viperio goes there, and it's the worst they've looked in the beginning of this map.
And what you're mentioning, Glitchtech have really good coverage for it, because yes, indeed, popping out of that brown hole seems to be more effective towards inner. To like have that work out for you, but very consistently it's been Pop Dog that's been very deeply pushed. They're gonna need to use a lot of util to make sure that control gets maintained, but then also it's very clear that you're there. I mean, Glitchtech have nice coverage for it. So I think Ivy's one of the more weaker spots at this point. We haven't seen anyone there. The heat map's completely cold. Except for this round, because of course it is.
Reminding all the viewers at home about the high stakes of this map. Whoever wins it will move on into the lower bracket. Whoever loses, they are out as minimal. Finds a kill onto Isaac. And CX maybe could have waited a bit longer to his face. Whoa! Glock headshot galore. But still player advantage for the CTs. No K's picked up right now.
I always love to hear some chatting. I'm very happy that we get the cues. I'm also happy that we don't get to read it. What are Viperio Academy doing? How are they behind a 3rd player? Yeah, you know how ladders work.
Unlike you.
Yeah, I don't. Knife. Minimal with 1 more. No, damn.
Don't knife him. Just kill him. Just kill him. Yo, he's going for the knife. What? He pulled out the bomb!
Oh, the jumping knife! This is a full Glock round. There's 0 investment. It's a 1v2.
But it's Ivan that's alive. and he has been an absolute menace. Does he expect Shane to play here? He does, and he gets the headshot. It's Minimal dying
of it.
first.
Shane shouldn't peek. He should
Spots the
just
headshot.
avoid.
Oh no, he's in ramp. Never mind. So smoke. It's kind of far from the bomb, but it will spread all the way out. But Shane,
Shane, yes!
gives the leeway. Goes for it. Is he not gonna go for his knife? He's going for the spray down. He doesn't connect.
Oh,
he does it
yes!
in the end, and he gets it. After almost bopping the head of the player with the bomb, gets the knife and gets the clutch.
Glocks! A full Glock round! Viperio, a constant 10 seconds of yelling, putting in the timeout. This is full BM.
Someone clip this, please.
Beautiful.
This is...
Oh.
No, this is the opposite of beautiful. This is disgustingly ugly.
This is terrible.
He cycled to every single thing he had in the inventory. That's disastrous, mate. This should never work in 1,000 years. But this is payback for the round that Viperio gave away all the way back on Ancient versus USPs.
This is way worse. This is way worse. That round had 157. It was 2 USPs, but a 5-7, a Deagle, and a FAMAS. That was still pretty all right. This was Glocks and flashbangs, for crying out loud. My goodness, they flank everyone. Glitchtech get fooled, and instant timeout. This could be a turning point in the series.
They decide to still invest as they have enough money to get the AWP, and it's going to be both MGMT and Isaac starting to follow into what we discussed in the pregame sheet.
Yeah, the some Glitchtech are slowing it down on the Pop Dog presence, as we do see the T-side getting a bit fond of Ivy.
It's a strange approach here, as Isaac's going to find a freebie, but he decides to not shoot, so disadvantage. Op dropped, Minimal, infiltrating forward, gets Ivan, a spray and pray, crouch, and gets a double! MGMT was staring at the wall for some reason.
Oh, that's some revenge from Ivan from losing that 1v2. It was in a minimal amount of seconds left. He was still hitting a shot, so he continues doing that, which, well, as expected, Marco picking up that AWP. Was it double op, actually? Because Isaac's op is still down there as well.
No.
Oh, he picked up management's one. Yeah. Picked up the T-side op. As it's going to be a difficult one. They're just going to walk through Ivy. It's not being covered. MMS is back turn. This could be terrible. Didn't spot
He
the barrel.
spotted it!
No.
What?
Yeah, he didn't register it. Oh,
NCX does.
does.
Zimzy is there, has a triangle, but doesn't get the first shot as Lake repositions nicely and gets the trade. Now player advantage for the T's.
Risky jump up for that. 2 versus 3 on the retake. Ivan and Reese needs to come in, and Reese needs to bring in some impact here.
Gets the first kill. 2 versus 2. And then CX holds a nice angle, has the cross block, the opponent gets the second kill, and he's gonna go for the triple. It doesn't matter. Shane is the one to get it over, and it's 4 on the board on the T side already, Sheep.
It's screwed if you do, screwed if you don't for Glitchtech right now, considering a possible timeout. Because as soon as you call a timeout, you won't be able to communicate a single thing. They're quite close together in the arena, by the way.
Oh, okay.
As soon as they would call a timeout, those first 10 seconds are going to be Viperio in their faces. Straight up, probably just standing up, yelling at them like, "Oh, are you nervous?" But some revenge could be taken here. As we aren't seeing as many pushes. Reese would need to be a bit more aggressive to make this effective. But what a round. That's going to shape the way this T-side half is going to go. And we're looking at 5 potentially already for the T-side.
Minimal gets 2. Can he get the first before he falls? The answer is yes. Survives with 20 HP as Ivan cannot connect with any of the Deagle shots. And Isaac playing a new angle. This wasn't here before. With the USP. Okay, Tech 9 from MGMT. Putting the dot on the eye. It's Riz last alive with the Deagle. Might try to retrieve the gun that was dropped in Ivy. Minimal is protecting it. The bomb has yet to be planted. Minimal, does he have the timing? He does not.
Yeah, crab walk from Reese. Nice job as that. Jesus, that was loud.
They're gonna buy. They don't have money for an op. They have to go for MP9 and FAMAS if they want extra utility. 5-2, and the more time passes, the closer to my prediction somehow coming true. Just
Your
around
accidental correct prediction.
Wait. I was very confident when the series began. Okay.
That's fair.
And then I realized a
That's
couple of
fair.
things, and I was like, oh wow.
But I am impressed. Viperio Academy, both them and Aidsins as a core, they've always struggled with a lot of like consistency issues, and it's been completely fixed. Glitchtech going for what they know worked, but it thins them out so much.
Bullets flying, not connecting. Molly's thrown. MMS really not wanting to.
You have this control. What do you do with this now?
Nothing.
You're gonna have to retreat anyways. You just delay the round.
Yeah, but that's. I don't think that's necessarily a problem.
It really isn't. You're gonna leave Zimzy here. It's nice map control. Quick rotates.
Forced out some of the utility. This is usually a great angle to play. Now with an MP9, Reese might need to get a bit closer. Look, he was playing top train.
Yeah, on top of Thomas. To honor Wing and Shin's call of that train. Thomas the Tank Engine?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
I got it. Although I never.
I was scared you didn't. I was like, there's no way he doesn't know Thomas the Tank Engine. This could be an op entry, MMS here in scope. Is management really going to peek into this?
Yes, he is. And he's gonna win it! No scope. MMS is off the map. Isaac will get a kill on the ramp. Baiting out for rest of the team. MGMT says, I don't want to have any part of this. We're gonna go outside where Isaac gets completely shot in the back of the head. Now
15 seconds.
HE's flashes, smokes, pushing in. They're gonna get the kill. Minimal lines them both up. Gets a hat trick. 6-2. And the snakes are very loud in the hole.
Where is that timeout? Glitchtech turning glitch tilt again. Well. I'm so good, bro. I am splendid. I've called every single timeout correctly.
I mean,
this entire game.
You have called timeout like every round this game. So what you know, even a broken clock is right twice a day.
There was one where I was saying if you call it the timeout straight after you lose the Glocks, you're gonna be screwed over because you're gonna get yelled at.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, now that sort of momentum is dissipated. So can't you just compliment me, man? God damn it.
You have a fabulous style.
Yes, thank you.
A lovely voice.
Okay, that's too much praising.
And you are very knowledgeable.
Except about ladders.
Well, you can't have them all, can you?
No, you can't. Minimal in double digits, first in the server. Getting a lot of multi-kills, a couple of eco-frags, but
they're pushing the volley. They're pushing through the volley. This might be a mistake here.
Why do you say that?
Never mind. Never mind. Shane getting a double. The rest are coming along. Reese, what an angle. If he wins this duel, I want to see N6 involved. He's going to get it. I actually thought he might get caught off guard. But 7th on the board, not even losing a single one. Flawless versus the eco.
The Viperio team is on the second to last row on the other end of the arena for us. Okay. We've been hearing them quite consistently over other teams yelling when they win these rounds. They are in the greatest of moods. They were smiling already after Mirage. They were feeling good. They were feeling great. And now it's looking like 7 on the T side. Like, what?
I think they could keep riding the momentum. Unless we get some heroics from Glitchtech, this could be very
She gets
bad.
through, actually. And Minimal's got an opener on Ivy again. Ivy's been so weak.
No. Minimal gets an opening on the Opera in Ivy.
Oh, geez, you're right. Oh, goodness. There was no flash assist
That was a dry
either.
peek. That was a dry peek.
My goodness.
Oh, another one! My good. Okay, I'm gonna make this joke once and not the rest for the rest of the weekend, unless he makes the grand final. He's maximizing every bullet he has in the magazine. Reese is playing behind this newly found hut on top ramp. Shane still kind of try to be aware and find it. Zimzi gets one in exchange, but the timing is gonna not favor the CT.
They must be aware, right? They must be aware, right? Viperio, what a fumble!
He's surviving in this fire. What you? I don't know what I just witnessed, but Minimal gets the triple.
Oh.
You know, when you are Minimal, you get 2 openings, you put your team in a 5v3, and you end up being 1 versus 3. That's kind of sad.
Every single round, you've been challenged up, Pup Dog. You have control over Ivy. There's no one that has challenged you extra. It's 2 kills there already, and there's no one challenging. So that means there's no one on the damn A bomb side. You've cleared the entire bomb side. You have Shane on the back of outer, or on the back of the inner bomb side, and you ignore Pop Dog. Damn, what a complete whiff of a round.
A bit of an assist there for Ivan, as he was getting sprayed down by the AK-47. Gonna walk in, pick it up himself. But now it's gonna have to be Reese, and oh man, he has a couple of players coming his way. Isaac as well in a position to find someone Minimal. Might have the perfect timing with the lurking yard. MGMT gets the opening onto the site. Lake checking his corners again. Ooh, this is making his way onto the ramp. Ivan gets kill. Isaac!
Wow, Lake, what a 180. It's going to be Risto in a 1v4, getting a grand opportunity at a massive clutch. But MGMT, he's been the best he's been this series, maybe even the best he's been this tournament.
And so has Minimal. Honestly, Minimal had a great first map, but they were on the receiving end of a beating. Now, 13-7, putting his team in a prime position to completely obliterate and eliminate Glitch.
They're the ones holding the crops now. They are smacking hard. I mean, that's one fumbled round. Rumbled found. One fumbled round. And it's an instant recovery again. All the pitfalls. You tip... Damn, I'm choking on saliva there. But all the pitfalls you typically see of Viperio Academy, they're just not at risk of that anymore, at least for this half.
Good smoke up from MMS. Gonna reveal the presence of 2 players in Ivy. As Lake just walks out and kills Isaac again. 11 deaths on the board. Isaac being completely shut down this game. But Zimzi has a nice angle and timing it electric. MMS finds one and done. Zimzi gets the surprise kill onto Lake. Player advantage for the CTs. Glitchtech have had a few of these and lost them. Let's see if they're gonna manage to trade for each other. NCX! And look at MGMT.
This is some classical train. This is real good.
If you kill MGMT, you can win the round because the bomb is in his possession.
It's not for the first time that Glitchtech completely forget, completely don't know where anyone is. Zimzi, impact from him. It's a necessity at this point for Glitchtech. Get that 4th round. Give yourself somewhat of an opportunity.
Walks out. Easy headshot with a Tech 9, but he's gonna not get killed right away. Risk has to white swing and gets the A4 kill to finally get a round back for his team. 4-8 at the half-time. Pistols on the T side of Train. Most important round in the meta.
The one thing management has been managing is to wide swing every 1v2 he's been in. I was hoping he wasn't going to do it now, and he jumps wide with an AWP to peak. He needs to just play more wingman.
Do you think he watched too many Monesi highlight videos before today's game?
Probably. It's such a bummer because he's been having a great game, and he's been having, it's a 4th opportunity now for management at a 1 versus 2 clutch. And for the 4th time, it's exactly the same peak that kills him. I'm going to tell him that after this game. It's like, bro, don't wide swing. He probably knows himself as well. Let's see this T-side round get going. Ooh, Pop Dog. This is actually quite good, as Minimal is on a difficult angle. Not smoked up fully.
It's going to be NCX.
That's a double kill here.
He has the first angle, has the first contact, doesn't connect with the first 4 bullets, and MGMT gets one. NCX doesn't even deal any damage to T's, and MGMT is going to get overwhelmed. As I say that, finds one headshot, but the Glocks got close. The Glocks got on top of them, and now Viperio Academy, they do have a defuse kit if they want to go for this.
Yeah, nice and tight setup. We have Reese kind of being disconnected, so it's pretty much how you want to play this 1 versus or the 2 versus 3. Isaac should be close range, should have Shane dead to rights. As I say that, what a ridiculous pick by Shane that is. Zimzy saving it, another
Nice
double
Lake.
kill, but Lake with that kit can still bring it home. Tapping the bomb, calling the bluff. The
got it.
headshots there, another clutch going the way of Viperio Academy. And Glitchtech are in the mud.
What a round! What a retake! 2 versus 3 versus Glocks. Lake finds the headshot onto the first retreating player and then doesn't lose his composure. Looks around the site and puts the... Well, I'm gonna say it. This is the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah, there's not much more necessary, I guess. This is a ridiculously tough recovery for Glitchtech. I mean, if you can recover from this, you can win this tournament. But my goodness, twice it's a 1v1 on a map where pistol rounds bring in that much impact. Glitchtech counting on the rounds they should be winning. And they don't. They simply do not. Viperio Academy smiling behind their monitors.
Shane gets one, and Zimzy quite low in HP. They're going to try to potentially retrieve the M4A1. Not yet, as Lake is there. He's going to hold the top of the middle ramp. Swings out, gets a double lineup. 2 are out. Going to try to find the third. MMS down to 17 HP. Again, numbers and HP advantage for the CTs.
It is going the wrong way for Glitchtech here. Isaac and MMS, they need someone to step up. Isaac has had probably the roughest first half that any Opera can have on the CT side. That's usually where you see the Operas get 15, 16, 19 kills on that half. He had 7, one of which was with the AWP.
What do you think about the addition of the hut onto the top ramp?
Wait, what hut do you mean?
So on the top ramp in B,
Yeah?
top ramp, you know the new house on the middle of the
Oh, yeah, at Rafters.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of like it, because that angle is very, very annoying to exit. Because you'd have, like, because removing that hut gives you about a bajillion headshot angles extra.
Yeah, but
It was
now
a fun fight.
I agree. I think in theory that was the plan, but now it just gives, like we saw in that last round, it gives you another angle to cover yourself from. As it's, again, another shooting gallery. The Deagle's not finding much other than a single kill. 11-4, the coming up score, as
this is...
we are nearing the end of this best of 3.
Oh my god, Glitchtech just completely disappeared. This is ridiculous, iPhone. Well, good for one. Bring in some confidence with you. But, I mean, we haven't seen Zimzy perform like he did on Mirage. Reese has had very little impact. Not talking about Isaac even. We mentioned him a couple times already. He's been a shell of himself on this map. But I gotta say, I think this is more on Viperio. Glitchtech are going to say after this game, what Glitchtech are going to say is, we lost against ourselves. Like, yada, yada, yada. No, absolutely not. Viperio are playing an amazing game. They are
Over-delivering,
really there. I talked to the Belfast Storm guys. They were kind of memeing that Viperio Academy are very often counter-stratting in Division 2. Which they're pretty much the only team doing that in UKIC. Or they did counter-strat in Div 2. They're now, of course, 0-4 in Div 1, which hasn't really gone that great. But, yeah, I mean, it's this lineup that has been doing decent. Well, I mean, they're 0-4 in UKIC, but on LAN, they've fixed so many of their issues this game.
They're one map away from, well, 2 rounds away from making top 12.
Damn.
And honestly, I think this is where Glitchtech should call their final timeout.
I had them top 8. You know, I probably won't be far from wrong. actually.
Richie out. Isaac with the AWP, getting some confidence. Nade's flying out, trying to get some damage onto the electric players. Shane down to 89, not that much has connected as we have a very deep smoke to push up out the top player. And look at Shane.
Nice aggression.
They're taking control.
We haven't seen this from Glitchtech the entire half.
We haven't seen this from
This calm
either of the
take.
two teams on train. And how are you going to re-clear the corner? That's what I want to see. Shane is going to hold this perfectly. He might find a
This
couple
is a double
here.
kill.
He's got it. They're walking towards him. Minimal is distracting the opponents. They're not even going to be aware of Shane's presence. He has 3 players coming towards his crosshair. He's going to be patient. He's going to find the first one. Going to line the second down. And then MMS, the third to fall. Triple kill for Shane as it's only Zimzi standing between Viperio Academy and getting 5 kills in that round. 8 map points. 8 match points.
This entire game has been won in round 5.
Round 5.
The Glocks.
Oh, yeah.
Glitchtech have gotten a single round after that. Or like 2 rounds after that.
They were up 3-2, right? Or something.
Yeah. This is...
It's the last hurrah, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my god.
Let's see, Glitchtech, are they going to go out on their shield or are going to keep fighting? MGMT opens up player advantage in what could be the last round of the tournament for Glitchtech. MMS tries to get in, finds the first kill with the Galil. The spray control from Shane is there. Simzi, 1 versus 4, gets the first one. Has to go for more. He doesn't have anything else. Picks up the AK-47, does not win the duel. NCX gets the victory and Viperio Academy win train in an emphatic fashion to make it on in the tournament.
It's the Academy teaching the lessons this time. What a showcase of just sticking to the game plan on Mirage and then outplaying everything, every single round. We have the moment of the game. It was round 5, 2-2 scoreline. This knife settled it. You get knifed, you get yelled at, you get teased relentlessly. The timeout right after, they got 2 more rounds after that one. It didn't look like a contention, that it wasn't contention at all anymore. Viperio Academy, an insane performance, shutting down Isaac, not letting him get a foot in this map.
And the clutch and the pistols, of course. We just saw
the
that.
pistol clutches.
That was impeccable, as we often speak about the importance of winning. And since the MR12 changed, both pistols guarantee you so many more rounds than, well, you would have felt in MR15. And that means Glitchtech will now be eliminated in Viperio Academy. Move on. And you're correct, Sheep. Your predictions.
It was kind of, one of the predictions was going to be shot anyway, because I had the Purple Bears top 4. I think they had themselves top 4 as well, to be honest. But that is a rough route to take, going in 9th in out of group. So heading into that lower bracket instantly, and then fighting what is probably, I gotta be honest, the best playing Viperio Academy I have legit ever seen. Individual level, this was insanely high.
You know what match I would love to have coming up soon? I would love to see Viperio Academy play Dusty. I think they play some very similar Counter-Strike.
That would be fun, but that would be some hefty focus on Thor in that game as well from Viperio Academy.
How could you shut him down?
But Thor will probably still frag 30 because he's been doing that pretty much every map, except against Alaska where they won like 3 rounds.
So, now that we know who moves on to the top 12 and who has to go home, I have to decide alongside my amazing co-caster who the MVP for that series is.
It's a difficult one because I want to just say everyone on Viperio.
Okay.
And who am I going to go for? That's actually a tough one. Who do you have in mind? We're just waiting on me to say.
I am going to
Call it
say,
a
this is going to be a very unexpected one, I believe. I'm going to say Minimal.
Minimal is a good
based
one.
On that map 3, we have...
I mean, everyone has had impact. Shane has had...
Map 2 was
a
Shane's...
million 4Ks.
100%. Shane is a good argument.
And yeah, especially on that Mirage. I think that was where Glitchtech could have won this best of 3, and Shane was the destruction there. Overall, great performance from Viperio Academy. Looking forward to seeing them play more often. They're going to get a pretty rough day up ahead of them if they're going to make a deep run.
Well, the marathon has begun, and it has begun with a reverse sweep for Viperio Academy, as we will be moving on with our bracket. We will see you after a short break with more Counter-Strike action coming your way.
Upper semifinals.